we go. Yeah. Okay. So now I'll put that there. Alrighty. So excited. Let's have a look-see. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. There we go. Okay. Listen. Midnight Muscadines. If my southern accent comes out, I'm sorry, but not that sorry. Yeah, see? Okay, I'm telling you, every time I open this stream, my mic settings change. Okay, I'm gonna turn down the gain a little bit and see if that helps. I don't know what's going on. Whatever. Okay. Now, hopefully it's okay. I don't know what's going on. It's fine. So if you can't hear me over the music or anything weird happens, just let me know. Because every time I have to change my mic settings, even though I swear I'm putting it in the same place. I have it on a mic arm, so it's always in the same place. But every time I stream, it's like something changes, something breaks with my mic, and I don't get it. Okay. Anyway, so if my southern accent comes out, I'm sorry, but not sorry. Hi, Izzy. Also, I didn't say hi to everyone. I kind of was in and out. But Mr. Schaff, Izzy, Nico, Eric, good to see you. Vector, AD, Atomic. Yeah, the gang's all here. All right. Let's get into it. I'm so excited. Oh, the music changed. This is a good song. Okay. So, Midnight Muscadines. Howdy, howdy. Howdy! Yahoo, yeehaw! It's the Windows mic settings for sure. They're as regular as something not regular, right? Drives me nuts. I have to adjust them every time. Yeah, look! 750 backers, and one of them is me! All right. Here's all the usual stuff. Ba-do-do-do. Oh, the game is licensed under the Creative Commons, so I guess it's okay for me to show stuff. Still nice to ask. Okay. So from Andy, the lead designer. When I was challenged by a couple of drakes to make a jam-inspired game for the Songs and Sagas game Jam for the jam, I instantly thought of the grape that I think deserves more love, muscadine. Muscadines are a large grape species native to the southeastern United States with an incredibly thick, dark purple skin that reminds me of a galaxy. In the fall, you can find these growing wild along hiking trails, and they are always a welcome treat. The interior is sugary sweet, but the skin is incredibly tart and unlike any other grape I've had. Muscadines makes deliciously sweet wines, tasty jams, and hull pies with a unique bite. What better fruit to capture and concentrate powerful magic than this hardy, thick-skinned grape that looks like a field of stars? Thank you for reading and playing Midnight Muscadines. We are excited about what this game is and the world it presents. Me too! Okay. Nimm and the Wildernite. This book is written from the perspective of Nimmians, the folk who live beneath the glow of the sun-shard beacons. Nimm is a bright, familiar valley, well-documented, well-traveled, and filled with comfort, community, and seasonal joys. It's perfect for cozy adventures, curious intrigues, and small stories that shine. But don't be fooled by the warmth. Mystery still lingers under its beacons, and not all secrets stay buried. Beyond the twilight border lies the Wildernite, a vast and shifting land of deep magic, forgotten spirits, and shadowed trails. It is largely unknown to Nimmians, and information about it may come from folk tales, secondhand stories, or unreliable accounts. Adventures in the Wildernite may be more dangerous, mysterious, and unpredictable, but they also hold the last threads of powerful magic, the whispers of sleeping gods, and the wild beauty of nature untamed. X-lax. What? What do you mean? X-lax? X-lax patience. Where? What? I'm confused. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay. This book belongs to you now. It's printed on uncoated paper to easily write in. I could never. Okay, I'm curious. Do y'all write in your TTRPG rulebooks, like the physical ones? Do you write in them? I can't. I can't. Like, even writing in regular books, I've started to get to where I'm like, okay, sometimes I want to be one of those cool people that annotates and highlights inside the books, but ever since I left high school, like, I haven't. It just feels wrong. I'll put post-it notes in it. I'll put the little, the little post-it tabs in it, but that's it. I'm not writing on there. I can't do it. It just feels wrong to me. Oh my gosh. I did not post to Blue Sky that I was going live. Goblin would be so mad, but Goblin's not here. Okay, hang on. Let me do that really quick. I'll be fast, I promise. Oh, what? Yippee! Remembering to tell Blue Sky stuff is so hard. It's the only social media I really use anymore. You would think it'd be easier for me to remember the one, but I don't. It's like getting maybe. Oh, you too. There's one rules typo in Girl by Moonlight I wrote in. That makes a little more sense. Let's see, it's like getting extra content. I'm a librarian. I hereby give you permission to write in your own books, but I don't quite in-game books either because it ruins replayability, right? Welcome in, by the way. Yeah, I want to. Actually, I bought a like omnibus copy of Lord of the Rings. That's like a paperback, and when I do my reread in order to prepare for like my One Ring campaign, I actually would like to. I'm going to work. I'm going to highlight. I'm going to annotate it because that's my own personal copy. I'm never getting rid of it. But I don't know, especially game books. I don't think I could because it's a rule book. It's like a textbook, you know? It just feels wrong somehow. Novels I feel a little bit better about only because I was forced to annotate them when I was in high school, but it's tough. Sticky notes on pages. Yeah, and you know what? One of my coworkers got me onto these, they are translucent sticky notes. And so you can write on it, you can get the notes, but you can still see through it to the page on the other side. So there is that, you know. The only annoying thing about those is that it's like kind of plasticky, you know, obviously it can't be made out of paper. And so you can only write on it with like an oil-based pen, which kind of stinks, but it looks really cool, you know. Anyways, yeah, I was just kind of curious to see. Actually, I'll make a poll because I'm just curious to see what y'all think. I'm just curious to see what y'all think. I'll leave it up for 10 minutes because it doesn't affect anything. I'm just curious to see what y'all think. What would you highlight? I would highlight evocative language, quotes, things I want to remember. I would like to highlight quotes, like cool quotes and stuff that I want to remember. But I see it's weird to say this, but like the annotation community of like book talk and stuff, they'll color code. So they'll have like, oh, these romantic quotes in this color or details that you think are important in another color. I probably wouldn't do all that because I think that if there's more, like the ratio of highlighted stuff to non-highlighted stuff should still skew towards unhighlighted, but you know, I definitely would want, there's some quotes that I'm just like, yeah, this is cool, I want to remember this, so that when I reread the book, when I see something highlighted, I'll be like, oh yeah, that was something I thought was really cool or important, you know. Okay, let me move the, where is everything? Okay, let me move the RPG to the corner so it's a little bit more out of the way. Okay, and the fishing game. I think the fishing game is okay where it is. Okay, that way it's a little out. I want to turn to the conditions page. Yeah, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get to all of them. Here are the credits. Very important. If you highlight everything, nothing is highlighted. Yes, exactly. Design and writing by Andrew Boyd. Illustrations by, I cannot pronounce this name, Galen Peugeot. Editing by Eric Lazur, who is here in the chat, or at least was a minute ago. Adventures in writing by Alan M. Hall, which is so cool. Patrick So sorry, I cannot pronounce that. So sorry. Buechner, I can't do it. And Sean and Navi Drake. Game design consulting, but I definitely can't pronounce that. Renee Pierre Deshays Gelinas. Additional art by Andy Moran, Emily Entner, and published by Pandion Games, of course. The Marmateer's Code. Invoke the old magic found in the ancient forests where mountains and lakes meet on cloudless days and moon-filled nights. Rekindle the sense of wonder when well-worn trails dissolve into wild lands where only whispers of ancient footsteps guide your way. Embrace the fear inside when embers die, wolves howl, and your only protection is good luck and the thin fabric of your tent. Rejoice in laughter with strangers, neighbors, family, and friends when hot coffee and the day's early light warms the soul. Adventure is upon us. I love that. Is it the same as when it was in the preview? Because I remember reading the Marmateer's code and being like, oh, I love that so much, you know. Their touchstones, Lightfall, The Girl and the Galdurian by Tim Probert. Sea of Stars, I love that game, Sea of Stars, oh my gosh, by Sabotage Studio, Dungeons of Hinterberg by Microbird Games, and Nausicaa of the Valley of Wind, and Princess Mononoke by Studio Ghibli. Ghibli, yeah. I only know of 2 of these, but 3 of these, I guess, technically, if you count Nausicaa and Princess Mononoke as 2 different things, but yeah. Okay. The table of contents! Look, with all this stuff now! Oh my gosh, there's so many pages, I'm so excited. I will probably, well, I don't know that there's a lot that's like purely for group play. I might skip over some of that stuff a little bit, but look at how much stuff there is for solo. Look at all this. I love that. And look at these. Look at these. Look at all this stuff. Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat? Wouldn't you think Muscadines is complete? Oh, it is. Okay. And then here's the map. Yeah. I'm so excited. I know it doesn't sound like it because this is how my voice sounds all the time, but I assure you I am very excited. Look at the map. Yee. Okay. Song. The World with a Shattered Sun. Long ago, before the balance was broken, Nimm stretched far and wide, a land of light and shadow woven in harmony. But balance is a fragile thing. The old stories tell of the twin gods, Valgus the Light-Bearer and Tum the Night-Bearer, who together spun the rhythm of day and night, of waking and dreaming, of bright warmth and crisp cold. But the people of Nimm grew fearful of the dark and turned against Tum, striking down the goddess of night and severing the balance that held their world steady. And so the days stretched long and endless, bathing the land in an unyielding glare. Grief has many faces, and Valgus's was wrath. In his sorrow he shattered the very sun he had once gifted, letting its golden fire tumble from the sky. As the shards fell, so too did the shadows, Tum's old messengers. Corrupted by Valgus's anger, they twisted into an army that sought to snuff out the last embers of light. But the people of Nimm were clever and steadfast, and fought Valgus to preserve the last shards of the sun. Though the battle was long and bitter, they prevailed. Valgus was sealed away, locked within an enchanted jar, hidden where no shadow dared tread. A jar, you say? The light was not completely lost. 5 shards of the sun was all that remained, burning with the last warmth of the world before. 4 were raised into the heavens, housed in vast glass jars of refined crystalline magic, their glow now the only thing keeping the eternal twilight darkness at bay. Man. But the beacons were no match for a true sun, and beyond their reach the land fell into a restless, untamed dark, not the gentle night of old, but a shifting, wild night, the wilder night. The 5th shard was buried deep within Valgus's prison, its light the final ward against the shadows seeking Valgus's freedom. Under the beacon's glow, the people of Nimm rebuilt, planting gardens and new lives in the beacon's light. Engineers made shades to dim the beacons slightly to signal the end of the day, but the light always burned on to keep the darkness away. They wove their warnings into lullabies and stories, tales told over flickering lanterns, of the danger that creeps beyond the glow, of the shadows that hunger for lost fire, of the god who, once forgotten, may yet wake again. And now, as time stretches ever forward, the stories grow faint. Only the eldest few remember a time when Valgus was not only a bringer of ruin, but a giver of warmth. Fewer still recall the old ways of balance, and in the deep places where the weight of time presses heavy, the cracks in the prison grow wider. The wilder night stirs, and the beacons burn on. Love how sneakily dark this story is, right? Ah, it's so cool. Actually, you do sound very excited. I'm glad, Chatty Hime. When the E hits, yeah, the E! I love this. I love this because it's actually, like, terrible because the people of the world, like, literally killed the goddess of night and then imprisoned the god of light, you know, like, it's not like these were evil gods that did terrible things. Like, I feel like the people, the Nimmians kind of did them wrong, you know, and so I wonder, that's probably just something that can come about in your story, but I'm very curious to see what happens if Valgus comes out. Should I be getting Conan vibes? Oh yeah, you know, I could see that. But it is actually pretty dark, and I mean, it is supposed to be cozy dark, right? And everything cozy has a twinge of darkness to it, which is why it kind of gets on my nerves when Ghibli things are touted as, oh my gosh, cozy vibes, because every Ghibli movie has some pretty dark, you know, undertones to it, and sometimes overtones, you know. This is why Nimmians can't have good things. Oh my gosh, you're not wrong. Hence the adventure, right? But yeah, welcome, by the way. Hello, hello. But yes, okay. Ugh, I love this. It's so fairy tale like. I love the way it sounds. And I know, okay, bear with me because I've read through some of these things when I did my stream about the preview of Midnight Muscadines, right when it started funding or right before it started funding. So some of this you may have heard before, but it's been a long time, you know, let's go through it. I'll be all excited all over again. I love a good dark cozy. Me too. It's good to be able to switch. If it's grim dark all the time, you get tired, but if it's cozy all the time, like, you get tired. I'm so excited for the physical to arrive. My goblin paws need it, right? Oh my god, it's Goblin! Hello. Okay. Before we begin, can probably skip over this because we're not actually playing, but the thing I think is cool is that you use the dice, of course, but you also use playing cards. That's fun. And I just got those beautiful playing cards. They're technically for moon rings, but you know, whatever. I'm starting to collect playing cards now. It's bad. It's a role-playing game. You're watching my channel. Surely you know what a role-playing game is. Surely you know what a TTRPG is. But basically, it's... You know, I'll just read this paragraph. A role-playing game involves creating and expanding an interactive and dynamic world. When played as a group, one person takes on the role of the game mentor, or GM. I like that it's game mentor and not game master. I love that. The GM lays out the fictional foundation for scenes, acts as a referee for the game's rules, and helps facilitate collaboration around the table. During a scene, they present challenges and let players find creative ways to resolve them. Yeah, I came in to say howdy, and I hope your jams go well. Thanks, Goblin. It's so good to see you. Hope you're doing okay. Hi, Viper. Yeah, try to get some sleep if you can. But yeah, so when played solo, the outcome of risky situations is determined by rolling dice using cards. When played solo, the player takes on the role of both the GM and the PC. You can also play GM-less, so you play with a group, but none of you is the GM. You kind of just all work together, which is pretty fun. I don't know if I've ever played GM-less with more than one other person, but I think it would be fun one of these days. What is this role-playing game? Oh my gosh. Yeah, okay. Yeah, playing cards. I always get the spades and the clubs mixed up. It's tough. And especially with the way that they're laid out on some playing cards, they kind of look the same. So sometimes it's my fault. Sometimes I don't get it. Okay, dusk bells. In Nimmian border towns, dusk bells are often attached to porch posts and windows to call back the light of day and give thanks for the sun shards. Children love to run through town streets ringing them or adding new bells of their own making. This game is designed for low or no prep adventuring. Players have numerous tools to steer the story and participate in world building, build characters together, and use each other's imagination to discover where the story goes. You'll find lore, hooks, and inspiration in every paragraph and table across the book. Uncover the world together. Can confirm, because when I played the preview, it was very easy to just get the ball rolling, get the story going. Like, it did not take me any trouble. And now with the actual solo rules and the tables and everything, I'm sure it's even easier. I always have to remember that a spade is a shovel to keep them straight. The way I remember is that the spade has only one petal, but the clubs have 3 petals. That's how I remember it. But also, oh my gosh, hi, good to see you. Hi, 64. Oh my gosh. I know everyone was so excited for today. Me too. So excited. Okay. Which also, they sent this out. So if you're a backer, you should have already gotten this email to you. So if you want to have it open and like follow along, you know, please feel free. What's today? It's Thursday, right? It is. It's Friday Eve. Happy Friday Eve. Well, I'm really excited. I've been looking forward to this all day. I'm so excited. Finding Midnight Muscadines. Finding Midnight Muscadines is rarely a mundane event and should be narratively triggered. The plant concentrates powerful magic. Rumors of the strange, mystic, and magical often lead in their direction. Shadows of tomb grow the strongest where groves of the fruit appear. Areas may see unexplained phenomena explode forth as the density of the arcane overflows and manifests. Love that. Whoa. Now I feel like my voice is too quiet. I just can't win with this thing. Okay, I turned down the gain, so maybe since I turned down the gain, I can put it a little closer to my mouth. We'll see how this goes. Okay, this is... okay. More than the harvest. Harvesting Midnight Muscadines is the Marmateer's main goal, but not every game needs to focus on that task. There are dangers, intrigue, and secrets both out in the Wildernite and within Nimm, as well as festivals, shops, and countryside attractions to enjoy. Guilds vie for power. Captured gods yearn to break free to finish their task. Great spirits hide their whereabouts and intentions, and the world of song is out of balance, with the actions of long-dead ancestors still echoing today. Players asking any of these bigger questions should explore and seek their answers. Yeah! I want it to be cozy, but I kind of like the idea of seeing what happens if Valgus is broken out. Is it Valgus? Vargus or Valgus? Valgus. If Valgus is broken out, you know? Magic is designed to be left to the interpretation of the players with a wide variety of ways the effect of each ingredient may be understood and manipulated. Players should explore what combinations could do, suggest different meanings of words, and craft wondrous spells together. Items are similar, their name and description allowing the player to interpret what is unique or interesting about each of them. I love that. I love when magic is left a little more to the imagination, and you don't just have like, here's the spell list, you get to do this. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, obviously. I play a lot of games like that too, but I enjoy the story building, storytelling and the crafting when you get to just sort of make stuff up. And like, oh, when I put this and this together, it makes this magic spell, you know. Weave, music, and balance. 3 core metaphors are used by the inhabitants of song. Weaving and fabric is used when speaking of the universe and gods. Music and melody is used when speaking of civilization and beings. The balance is used when speaking of magic and nature. Throughout the book, you'll see many references and allusions to these 3 metaphors, such as the tapestry, the world of song, and the shattered equilibrium between day and night. Alright. Attributes: strength, dexterity, willpower, and heart. You use those to make checks. Abilities, endurance. If reduced to 0, a narrative consequence occurs. Oh. Protection, so kind of like your defense, your DR kind of. Inventory. Why did I say it like that? Inventory. Gear does not take up inventory slots. Items, okay. Damage, okay. Get conditions, okay. Guilds. Join a guild to gain a unique ability and create an NPC. Each guild has its own agenda, that makes sense. Magical jam, you have the strength of the jam, the ingredients, you get to collect ingredients. Creating pure jams. During a rest, remove any existing ingredients and add a single ingredient to the jar's suit slot of your choice. Burn a card of an unused suit slot. Add an ingredient to that slot, clear the usage track, combine the effect of the current jam, and increase. But these are things that will make more sense when we're like playing. And we did play before, but still, you know. Skunked jam, so sad. So sad when a jam gets skunked. Nothing sadder than opening a jar of marmalade and seeing that there's mold on the rim. Ugh. It's so sad. Okay. How to play the burning cards. Yep, okay. Gaining cards. Ooh, DR is difficulty rating here, okay. Which is like your target number basically, so that's what you're trying to beat on a check, so it's your target number. Risk rating alters DR. Impact dice. Makes sense. Resolve is kind of how many successes you need. This kind of reminds me because Draconim is kind of like this too, like you're rolling multiples and you need a certain number of successes to go past. Challenges are obstacles without active opposition. They have a DR and a resolve. Adversaries, they actively oppose. And then they get to do actions too. It's Friday already. Oh, I'm sorry. Happy time zone. Resting, you get companions. Advancement. You get EXP, of course. And then renown. Okay. Cool. Okay. We're gonna skip over the character creation. Oh, look at them! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, look at the Wodling! It's a flower person. Look, there's a frog. Look, there's a moth person. And they're doing the little steeple hands like, hello, hi, hello there. Oh my gosh, but the Wodling looks so cool. They all look so cool. Look at the Tatterling, the Patchfolk. Look at, there's not one type of frog person. There's two. Look at, there's this frog, and then there's this frog. I get choices. Oh my god, look at them. Look at them. Look at this little person here. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, they all look so cool. What is this, Illuminite? I don't know. I don't know how these are different. This is an elf, I guess. Oh my gosh. They have their feet out. What if you get tetanus? Is that okay? You can't be wandering around in the wilds like that. That seems like inviting something terrible to happen. Oh my gosh, the Tatterling has their feet out too. Goodness. Look at them. This is so fun. I love how unique all of these are. I love this. Look, there's two frogs. There's two frogs. There's two. Ah. Yeah, I love them all. Oh my gosh, how am I ever gonna choose? It's gonna be terrible. The Wodling is so cool. Everything is so cool. Thank you for the follow. We're really close to 700. It'd be neat if we could hit 700 tonight. I know there's two whole frogs and the Bog's Guard. Yeah, look! It reminds me of Dark Crystal. I love it. I love it. I guess I'm just gonna have to play this game over and over so I can make one of everybody at some point. There's not a single one that I'm like about. They're all cool and they're, oh my gosh! What is that? Just thank you. Oh my goodness. Thanks for some. Thank you.
Has been let into the secret clubhouse.
Welcome to the secret clubhouse. It's not really that secret. And you got a Magikarp right away. That is some good luck. Thank you so much. Goodness. Ah, these are so cool. Okay, all right, well. Okay, we're gonna read up on them. So I guess they go in alphabetical order. So we're starting with the Bog's Guard. The path you seek is just ahead, or was it left? Oh, that's a pretty trinket. Bog's Garts are knee-high marsh folk with slimy, moss-speckled skin, glowing eyes, and a reputation for trickery as thick as the fog that cloaks their swamplands. Equally feared and admired, they dwell in the soggy, winding bogs of the Wildernite, where they've built sprawling, submerged towns filled with root bridges, hanging glow lanterns, and secrets sunk deeper than the mud. This already sounds so cool. Thank you for the follow. Oh my gosh. To deal with a Bog's Gart is to dance the line between riddle and trap. They love wagers, wordplay, and nonsense songs with dangerous rules. They are not cruel, but tremendously clever. Outsmart one and you can earn a shortcut, a rare plant, or a secret better left buried. Fail and you'll find yourself 2 days off course with your boots full of eel water. Despite their mischief, Bog's Garts are deeply rooted in their bogs and communities. They value craft, cleverness, and deals fairly struck. That is so cool. Yeah, they remind me of the Fae. Oh my gosh, they're swamp fairies. That is so fun. Ow. Oh no, how am I going to choose? Better Luck Buried. Sounds like the perfect name for a let's. It does, right? Wait, I kind of love that. Better Luck Buried. That sounds like me. All of my better luck has been buried somewhere. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Okay, anyways. Next. I'm not gonna read through this stuff on this side, because this is just their, Okay, the Dusky Whims. These are the moth people. We are the flicker in the fog, the hush before discovery, the kindness uncovered on a lonely path. Dusky Whims are delicate and moth-winged folk who drift with uncanny grace in the skies between Nimm's beacon glow and the Wildernite's twilight. Their movement is near silent, accompanied by the faint glitter of silver dust motes that swirl behind them like starlit breadcrumbs. Oh my gosh. Your brain. How do you write these words? How do you write these sentences? You string these words together and make this sentence. It just sounds like poetry. This is so beautiful just to read. Holy crap. Faint glitter of silver dust motes that swirl behind them like starlit breadcrumbs. I don't annotate my books, but if I did, I would highlight that part. That is just, this is so pretty. They rarely speak, instead expressing themselves through miming gestures, expressions, and manipulating the drifting dust of their shimmering trails. Wait, that's so fun! They manipulate the dust and make it spell out stuff. That is so fun. Ah, that's so cool. Many legends speak of dusky whims as children of Tomb, the night bearer who took the form of an elegant dusky whim when walking the world. True or not, no one ever quite sees a dusky whim arrive. They appear when needed, a sudden flicker in the trees, a glint at the edge of the firelight, offering guidance, small kindnesses, or brief warnings before fluttering away into the dark. Whether by instinct, fate, or unseen magic, those who follow the paths they trace often find exactly what they didn't know they were seeking. What? Ah, this is so cool. This is so cool. I love, how am I supposed to choose one? Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, I'm not reading them because we'll be here all night, but like, I'm sure as I have this up, if you look at the character questions, these are all so cool. You know, I've started playing in a campaign of Daggerheart recently, and the way they do character creation is so interesting with you answer these questions, and it kind of, the questions connect you with another party member and help you establish like how do y'all know each other, how, you know, how does your character react in such and such situation, and these character questions kind of remind me of that. It's just such a cool way to flesh out your character rather than just filling out the character sheet. It's making you ponder them more deeply, and I think it makes it easier to roleplay. Like, these are such great questions. Okay, roll for it. I don't know. I think I will have to choose. It'll just be tough. Okay, Luminites. So the Luminites were this little bright person here. So all these folk were such a late addition. Thank God they were made, right? Oh, I love it. When they overtake, they can cuss them out while making them eat their dust. Oh my gosh, exactly. That's so funny. Okay. Our glow is proof that the sun once loved this world. Luminites are soft-skinned, glowing folk whose gentle luminescence lights many corners of Nimm. Their skin glows in subtle shades, pearl white, pale violet, flickering gold, and their glassy, pearl-like eyes reflect the world as if seen through still waters. The first Luminites emerged when the sun shattered, born from its dying heart, and their bodies have carried the echo of that moment ever since. Most Luminites feel deeply connected to the beacons and serve as lantern tenders, night guides, or light keepers, ensuring that no path stays dark for long. Their glow often comforts others, but also reveals when something is wrong. A Luminite's light dims not with age, but with grief, corruption, or deep imbalance. To see one flicker is to know that something has tilted out of place. Man, that's so cool. Look at this. Their voices have a melodic lilt like lantern glass touched by the wind. Oh, kind of that soft wind chime kind of, you know, I love that. Okay, the Murmurens. Murmurens are these, the frogs that, the kind of mossy looking frog. Okay. We walk the world not to shape it, but to gently remind it of what it once was. Murmurens are small, moss-infused folk who speak in rustles, chirps, and trickling tones, all like crickets. Their voices mimic the sounds of the land itself, from the hush of twilight winds to the creak of swaying boughs. Caretakers of forgotten places and creatures, Murmurens and their towns are often found in glades, riverbanks, nesting within old woadling groves, and tending to lost and injured creatures brought to them. Their long arms are finned, with webbed fingers to help them move swiftly in streams, rivers, and lakes, where they prefer to build beautiful homes into the banks. They're often found walking as quadrupeds on land, rising on their hind legs to eat, drink, work with tools, tend to seedlings, or offer a helping hand to a friend. They're small and shaggy, but sleek in the water. Okay, so they look like frogs, but I guess they're not really supposed to be. They sort of, kind of remind me of frogs, but also sort of remind me of sloths, because they're all mossy, but then when they swim really fast, you know? Hi, Nero! Good to see you! Look at these really cool creatures that you can make in this game. Your main character can be any of these, Nero. Look how cool. Love this. I wish I could get rid of this little window here. This little thingy here. I don't think I can. Oh well. I love the designs of me too. So we're reading through that right now. Oh yeah, we just read about the Dusky Whim a little bit ago, and then we read about the Murmurin, and now we're on the next one. They're all really cool. Okay. Nimmians. Well, these are just the regular old people. We've chosen to face the world with song, food, and one another. Nimmians are descendants of those who survived the shattering of the sun and built their lives beneath the 4 floating sun-shard beacons. Warm-hearted, clever, and quietly resilient, Nimmians are defined not by bloodlines or appearance, but by tradition and connection to the light. They value stories, shared meals, kept promises, and the tending of small things. While some cling to caution, others feel the stirrings of old wonder and look toward the wildernite. Whether they spend their days harvesting mossberries near Lake Solène or repairing beacon glass with soot-stained gloves, every Nimmian understands this. The light we have is borrowed, and it must be tended together. Yep, it's really cool. All right. The patch folk. So these are the raccoon-looking people. I'm eating a snack. It's a peanut butter jelly snack. So it's peanut butter, and then on the inside there's like jelly on the inner part. So it's fun. Okay, patch folk. Mend what you can, trade what you can't, and never waste a scrap. Patch folk are stout, thick-furred folk with curling tails and coats colored like patchwork quilts. Their name comes from both their unique fur patterns and their talent for patching up nearly anything, from torn sails and broken tools to tense tempers and shaky truces. With nimble fingers, keen instincts, and a sharp eye for value, patchfolk are master weavers, skilled tinkerers, and shrewd traders. Known throughout Nimm for keeping things running and fair, they are found in every town and city in Nimm and at the highest level of any guild plying a trade. While patchfolk delight in comforts, community is their craft. They're quick to share a fire, a biscuit, or a spool of thread with strangers, but cross one in trade or break a promise, and the quiet machinery of gossip and bad luck will begin to churn. They don't seek vengeance. They simply make sure the truth travels fast and far. Love that. Okay. The Tatterlings. Okay, so the Tatterlings are these here. They're kind of like hooded and hard to see. We go where the hems are fraying and the tapestry is unraveling. Tatterlings are unraveling, wander-footed folk cloaked in patchy fabric with button eyes, and thin, worn fingers. Said to be kin to the patch folk who never left the wildernite, they walk the shifting roads between towns. Keepers of tattered edges, they patch not just the world's fabric, but the memories woven into it. They are strange, kind, and quietly magical, never staying long, but always leaving things a little more whole than they found them. Wherever they go, things last a little longer, and people hold on a little tighter. Though helpful and humble, Tatterlings are never idle. To stay in one place too long invites a kind of unraveling. Not of cloth, but of self. They claim boredom pulls at their seams like a bad stitch, so they keep moving, weaving continuity between places, people, and things. To befriend a Tatterling is to feel like your coat fits better, your teacup cracks slower, and your memories fray a little bit less. Oh, the music got really loud all of a sudden. Okay, that's really cool. Yeah, so they have button eyes, can't really see through their cloaks. Ooh, that's neat. Okay. I like this formatting, but I wish there was enough room for one picture on the page itself. That's true, but, you know, we've got all the full pictures here. Alright. Okay, the Twillits. Twillits? Twillits? Okay, the frog people. Twillits. Twillits? Twilits? Twilits, maybe, is probably how it's supposed to be pronounced. Okay. We roam where the light is quiet and the secrets are loud. Twilits are plump, dusk-colored folk who dwell high in the canopies of marchland forests, where the starlight trickles through branches like spilled silver. Shrouded in shadow and mist, their hidden towns cling to root bridges and mossy hollows woven so skillfully into the trees that even the wilder folk can pass beneath them unaware. They are keepers of whispers, known for their unmatched ability to observe, remember, and trade in truths. While their communities remain hidden, Twi'lets themselves are not reclusive. Many travel the Wildernite as merchants, message bearers, and information traders, exchanging rare goods for rumors or news. Their plump forms and sleepy expressions hide sharp minds and sharper memories, and nothing escapes their notice for long. Twi'lets have a natural attunement to the stars above and the secrets below, and they often know more than they say, especially when it comes to the movements of Shadows of Tomb or the paths of Marmateers. I love that. The frog peeps. Cute. Okay. The wilder folk, I guess. So it's like the, let's see here. Hang on, sorry, I got a work text message. What do y'all want from me? Okay. Wilder folk. We are the hush between stars, the memory of what was forgotten, the darkness that sings. Born beneath a star-filled skies. I think that A should not be there. Either born beneath a star-filled sky or born beneath star-filled skies, but one of those should, born beneath a star-filled sky, the Wilderfolk are the descendants of those who chose to remain in the Wildernite after Tomb's fall. With eyes adapted to the dark and skin pale as moon milk, they built thriving cities hidden in twilight, lit by fallen stars and bioluminescence. Guarded and reserved, the Wilderfolk are deeply spiritual and methodical, revering the lost goddess Tomb and preserving ancient knowledge others forgot or destroyed. While they do not forget the part Nimm played in the shattering of the balance, they are not unkind. Most prefer cautious diplomacy, while some act as guides or allies to respectful Marmateers, insult their history, or seek to steal their secrets, and the warmth vanishes fast. Okay. So not everyone, was against Tomb. Okay. So they're kind of like elves, but their skin is sort of luminescent. Like forest elves in a way. Okay. And I think this is last, the Woadlings. I think I'll probably end up making a Woadling. It's the character type I'm most interested in. Okay. Through soil, sky, and story, we grow from all paths taken. Woadlings are people of bark, leaf, and long memory. Each begins life as a seedling, tended with great care in a family grove's garden. You are making me want to draw. Oh, good. I'm glad it's inspiring. As they grow into saplings, Woadlings uproot from their gardens, become mobile, and are gently encouraged to leave the grove, exploring the world to gather experiences, meet new people, and understand the wider balance of life. These journeys are never aimless. They are considered essential, a way to bring new branches to old roots. Eventually, a Woadling feels the call to return home, settle into their grove, and take root, transforming into a massive, sentient tree alongside many other generations. Even in this form, they remain aware, social, and creative, shaping their bodies into shelters, hollows, and bridges for the next generation to use. These rooted elders add their memories to the root system, a living archive of shared experience stretching back centuries. That is so cool. I love that. A rooted elder. Yeah, so you go out for a long time, then you come back, root yourself, and you've got this shared memory and experience. That is so cool. I think this one is the most you. I'm so glad. I fell in love with them at first sight. I was like, I'm most drawn to this one, this little flower person, and I'm so glad, because man, that is so cool. Their bodies shift subtly with the seasons, blooming in spring, bronzing in fall, slowing in the quiet of winter. Their eyes glow faintly with an amber dew hue, and moss or blossoms often grow along their shoulders. Wait a second. They have eyes? I guess like these are eyes. That is so cool. I think this one is, this is sick. It's like a mycelial communication system. I know, right? It's so cool. I love how they've made, a plant species that, while it's sentient and it can walk around on legs, it still feels like a plant. eventually, you know, it roots itself, all of the shared memories and the way they communicate, because just because you're rooted doesn't mean that you have to be non-sentient or that you can't still interact with the world in a meaningful way. I love that so much. That's super cool. Man, okay. They're all cool, but I think this is by far my favorite, so I think my character is definitely going to be a Woadling. I said I think and then definitely in the same sentence. My character is definitely going to be a Woadling. I love, 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 love. You carry generations of memory passed down through your family's root system. Once per session, recall an ancient story, piece of wisdom, or practical skill that may help in the current moment, even if you've never learned it yourself. That is so cool. Look at that. This is so cool. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just gonna leave this up for a second so we can quietly read over it while I eat my last little peanut butter jelly bite. Mm. Yeah, I love that. Holy. Okay. Alright. Okay, so these are the character backgrounds. So kind of like personality or job class archetypes, you know? I like that you can create your own. So they have some, but then you can just make one up if you want to do something that's not quite one of these. I'm just gonna kind of lightly go through them. Bramblehand. Hearthkeeper. I do love this one because it's like the baristas, the chef barista person. It's so fun. Look at her! She looks so fun! The Honey Warden! I love this. Superhero vibes. Okay. Okay. Man, these are so cool. Rookwright. Say that 10 times fast. Tinkerers, clockmakers, inventors. Ooh, look, he's got a little bird. He's got birds. Look at them. Hee. I kind of wish that these had the other character types too, and weren't all just humans, but I understand that those were made later, so. You have a bonded swarm with the honeykeeper. Yeah! You have a loyal swarm of honeybees. That's so fun. The honey warden. It's so cute. The rookwright. Look, you get a small device, a clockwork tool that lets you bypass simple mechanical obstacles. That's neat too. Oh wait, this has words. I said no vocals. I said no vocals. Why is it giving me things that have vocals? Rude. Oh, a soul weaver. Keeper of old remedies, spirit tender, and quiet watcher of the boundary between life and death. Ooh. Oh, they're a healer. Okay. I love that they've got this, like, the staff that is very clearly a branch of a tree. I love this whole outfit. That is so cool. Songheart. How many strings does that thing have? Holy! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 strings! That's a lot of strings. Keepers of forgotten ballads. Wanderers who stitch stories into melody, guardians of laughter, delight. It has just enough strings and not one more. Oh my gosh. Quilted gambeson is perfect for a tatterling. You're right. That would be so cute. That is a lot of strings. You could play a different string every day for 3 weeks until you ran out. That's cool. The Thread Scribe. You are a wayfinder, lore keeper of the lands, and a seeker of the lost places. Oh, this is so fun too. Look at that. The Wanderlustian. Oh, I do like this one too. I think the character I made for the preview was a Wanderlustian. Seeker of the unknown, spreader of news, chronicler of the road. That would be so good for like one of the patchwork folks. It'd be fun. Wilderguard. Steward of nature's balance, keeping old traditions alive through your daily work. You keep watch on the Wildernight's restless twilight border. You're like a hunter type. That's fun. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, that's hard to pick. You can always make one up too. I kind of want to make a woadling that's also a honey warden, because especially if I'm a flower person, it would totally make sense if I've got these little honeybees around me. That'd be so fun. I'm gonna read this a little more closely then. As a caretaker of the smallest, most important creatures, you are the thick-skinned, canvas-clad guardian of the sweetness that hums, a steward of hives that hold secrets older than the Wildernite itself. Your bees do more than pollinate the crops of Nimm, providing nourishment for all. They dance tales of distant, forgotten flowers, gather nectar from idle daydreams, and sometimes whisper secrets into the wind. You may tend your hives in sun-dappled orchards, or venture into the Wildernite, searching for feral colonies hidden among the bellows of moon-kissed canopies. Man, it's so pretty. The art is reminding me of Songs of Silence. It's so crisp and good use of faded color. I know, right? It feels so cozy. Hive as a backpack. Oh my gosh, that would be so fun. What if the hive is built directly within your bark? Little golden chest heart hive. Wait, that'd be so cute too, because they're like buzzing and humming. Oh, agent of apple seeds. So the honey warden is the breakout thirst trap. Notice his broad shoulders, heroic build. Oh my god. You're not wrong. You are not wrong. Okay. Alright. So that's all of those. Guilds. Now, guilds permeate Nimmian and the Wilderfolk cultures. You are a member of the Marmateer's guild by default. Pick an additional guild if you are a member of and gain its unique ability, writing it down on your character sheet. And then you can create an NPC that is a member of one of your guilds. That makes sense. Creating an NPC character with a Cloud Coven membership can say they are friends with Foles Aristed, a tarot keeper for the Cloud Coven, in charge of record keeping at Cloudlight University, and can visit them to see if they can get access to their tarot reading logs. Read that as Cloud Coven. Oh my goodness. That would be a little Cloud Coven. The Cloud Coven, the largest known coven of witches, headquartered at the University of Cloudlight. The Field House, thieves and pickpockets operating across Nimm and on the Wildernite border. Again, I still think this is funny that they have a guild. Because imagine, like, you've got these guild houses in the capital of the city, and you've got the Cloud Coven, and then the Field House. It's like, thieves! Thieves, gather here! Well, they can't quite have a headquarters, can they? That is so funny. Meadow Larch. I know that's not how it works. It's just a funny thought. Meadow Larch. Shipping and selling black market goods, often with honest storefronts. Honorable thieves only. Yeah. Or maybe if you just put thieves in quotation marks, like, Thieves Guild. That way if somebody comes around, we're like, we're being ironic. That's why thieves is in air quotes. We're not really thieves. We're thieves. You know what I mean? Sage Leaf. Tea cultivators, tea house owners, and enthusiasts that control tea all across Nimm. We only steal hearts. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Solen Society, a group of devout worshippers and keepers of the beacon's sacred light, a remnant of the church that once worshipped Valgus. Story Cloaks, wandering historians and entertainers that spread news and history while always gathering more. Pilcrow, press, newspapers, books, and printers, information dealers with an extensive network of members across Wildernite and Nimm. The Verdengard, keepers of knowledge essential to the growth of ingredients and operators of Nimm's agriculture. I think that my character is definitely going to be a member of the Verdengard. Yeah. I'm already, we're not doing character creation, but I'm jotting down notes in my head. I kind of know. Okay. The attributes, we kind of talked about this already. So there's strength, dexterity, willpower, which they use for intelligence as well. So it's like perception, solving, analyze, focus, and then heart is like your charm, persuade, command, charm, honor. That's nice. Everything kind of gets distilled into 4 things. Assign a D4, D4, D6, D8 as you wish, then step up the proficient attributes indicated in your background by 1 die rating. I see. Write the die ratings of your attributes on your character sheet. We're gonna... Should we? Should we do it now? I kind of wanna. And then we can keep reading, but I kind of wanna. Let's do it. Let's do it. Where's the form fillable character sheet? Gimme it. Yee, look at this character sheet. It's been improved a bit. Look at this character sheet. Look at it. Oh, is it food for me? It looks so good. Wait, is this bacon or is this like the beef belly? It's pork butt. Oh, thank you. I've been brought some asparagus wrapped in pork butt. It looks really good. It smells really good. All right. In that case, I'm gonna leave this page open so any of y'all that don't know can read about the attributes real quick while I eat this. Hehe, my dinner. If this was my classroom, I would be like, okay, kids, you guys take turns reading this out loud. But it's just me. Does this app have text to speech? Nope. Thank you. Yeah, you read up while I'm eating really quick. I'll read it to myself. I'm a big girl. Okay. You read it carefully. There'll be a quiz after. I'm just kidding. Or am I? In public areas of most towns, one can find a perch of echoes with long, narrow shelves where people can leave messages in tiny labeled jars for others to pick up and read. Messages are often anonymous, ranging from advice and confessions to poetry and riddles. That's so fun. Okay. Name. Okay, hang on. Behind the name, save me! Behind the name. Behind the name has this thing where it's based on like name meaning, so they have all these different sections. I'm gonna look at all the flower and tree names. I've been making a lot of male characters recently, so I think I'm gonna make a girl this time. Ooh. This is pretty. I have no idea how to pronounce it. Anargul. Okay. It is cool. On this name, which means blooming pomegranate tree in Kazakh. It's Anargul. Very pretty. Very pretty. Anargul. I'm adding that to the list, I think. Right? I think it's cool. I ate my and asparagus, and then I have this little egg tart for dessert. Oh, Elowin. I love the name Elowin. So far, I'm at the P's, R's, Selby. That's cute. Selby is such a cute name. Completely different vibes. A Nargul sounds so cool. Selby sounds really cute. One of these is the dark and one of these is the cozy, you know what I mean? Okay. So far I still like a Nargul the most. I'm gonna look at all the flower names and see if I feel differently. Ooh, there's another one that's similar, because it's also from Kazakh, but it's Aygul, which is, it means moonflower. So instead of Anargul, it's, Anargul, it's Aygul. But it's kind of similar, but it's not so long. Because it's like moonflower or moon rose. I kind of like that too. Especially if I want my Wodling to be more flower themed, I think this one might be better. Aygul. Ooh, Amphea, that's pretty too. There's so many pretty flower names. You know, I'm gonna go with Aygul, because I think out of all of them, that's still the one that I like the most. Alright. Why isn't it letting me edit? Oh, there it goes. Okay. Aygul. That's so pretty. Okay. What does this style part mean? I don't know what that means. Okay, let's go back. Bulk background, and then we'll do the guild later. Which guild? Oh, the Verdant Guard, yep. The Marmateer's guild rep. Okay. So I D4, D4, D6, D8. Okay, I'm gonna do that. And then step up the proficient attributes by 1 die. That. I ghoul feather guard. That's cute. Max endurance is chose. Oh. So my endurance is 8. Alright, I'm just gonna copy paste that into the. Oh no. No, you cannot. There it goes. That is very hard to read. Okay. Alright, it's a future me problem. Okay. Max and current. Well, my current is the same as my max, so I am a sucker for a pet, both selecting them in-game and having them right. Understandable. Okay. Outfit, equipment, and experiences allow you to resist physical, mental harm. Protection is represented by a dice rating. Roll your protection die and reduce any endurance loss by the result. Optionally, burn cards to add additional protection dice to your roll and describe how you put forth additional effort to protect yourself. Protection can become damaged due to setbacks, adversary actions, or narrative developments. When protection is damaged, the die used is 1 step lower. Okay. Write your protection die rating on your character sheet. How do I know what my protection die rating is? Is that based on, No, speaking of which, I need my Wodling abilities too. Okay. Okay. Hi, Bennigan's! Okay. Okay. I got those. I don't know what my character... hang on. Oh, these back... Oh, here's this whole thing. Select 2... Okay. Set protection. Huh. Oh, the protection was here. I missed it. Okay, here. 1d8. Okay. Oh, thank you. Yeah. I saw it, and then I saw endurance, and for some reason I didn't see that, but I saw it just now. Okay, 1d8. Good, good, good. Where am I going? Back over here. Yes, yes, yes. 1d... No, that's not what I wanted. 1d8. And oh, I see. I checked this if it's damaged, which right now I'm good. Let's see. Honeyed words and bitter herbs cure many ills. Oh, I love that. That sounds so cool. Okay. Okay, back to the other page. Okay, got that. I already read that part. Okay, abilities. Which your 6 starting abilities. 3 from your folk, 2 from your background, 1 granted from your guild. Oh, I forgot the guild one. Okay, go back. Guild. Where's the guilds? Here's the guilds. Flora expert. Okay, now I have all 6. It's like I'm surely missing something. Okay. I love this app mostly for my PDFs, but sometimes it does weird things with the form fillable fields. Why is it doing that? Who knows? Hold on. Okay. Okay. So I got that. Okay. You can acquire more through advancement. All right. Favored feathers. Hats are decorated with feathers of different colors to signify one's relationship with others. A friend's feather could mean loyalty, while a vibrant feather gifted by a Marmateer might signify their protection or respect. The jam jar a Marmateer carries is crafted by filtering the magic from muscadines into a pure crystalline form. Each jar is unique to the Marmateer. Sketch what your jar looks like on your character sheet. Oh goodness. Okay. Need a jam jar. I wish I was a little bit more creative, but let's see. I'm gonna Google fancy jam jar. Ooh, there's one that looks like a swan. That is indeed fancy. Okay, this one looks like an acorn, or maybe it's a strawberry. I'm not really sure. It's really cute. So maybe I'll just try to... It's an antique... Oh, it's a pumpkin. It does not look like a pumpkin. It's from England. Okay, hang on. I'll show it so you guys can see it. But I think this is a good one. Something like this. Look at that. That's pretty cool. I like the shape of it. It has sunflowers on it. It's got a lot going on. It's a pumpkin, but it also has sunflowers etched into it. It's a bit much, but I like the general shape. So let me just wait, let me open up some MS Paint and I'll just sort of... Actually, this seems very daunting. You know what? I'm just gonna take this picture and edit it slightly. Do. This is my jam jar. Oh, we'll pretend it's an acorn, but I think this is a good enough, like, representation of it. I don't exactly draw. Although I think this would be fun to, like, try to crochet or knit, like a little knitted version of it would be super cute. Oh my gosh, thanks for the follow. Ooh, does that put me? I think that puts us at 700. Oh my goodness. Mr. Eric, you are number 700. We hit a big milestone. I am so behind on my lore videos. I'm so sorry. I just keep pushing it back to do other stuff. But I promise I'm working on it. I have to just write it out and just do it. Thank you so much. 700, you guys. Oh my gosh. I'm getting pretty close to 1,000 on YouTube too, so big milestones. I'm really excited. I'm really honored that people are willing to spend their time watching me because there are many, many things for you to watch. So the fact that you choose to take time out of your day to watch me when there's so many other things, it really means a lot. So thank you. Thank you for supporting and hanging out. Yeah, big burb, except I'm not yellow. Okay. Thanks for the head pats. That's so exciting. Thank you. Oh my gosh, 700. The big 700. All right, so that's the jar. So we can go to the character sheet, and I think I'm just going to use that as the picture for now. Listen, I am no artist, okay? So I think that that works. And maybe later, once I might draw a sketch of it later, but I think that's pretty good. Neat. Look at that little jam jar. BBB, better bluebird. All right. Okay. Oh, portrait. Ooh, I wonder if Picrew has any, like, plant people. Make it sprout. Hmm. I don't know. I don't know if this is, oh, this is kind of like a little Pikmin person. I don't know if I really will be able to make a good photo. I'll probably just draw one. I'll draw one on paper later and upload it. So for now, we'll just imagine. I have to think about what flower I want to have. It'll be really cool. Maybe probably a rose, since Igul is like moon rose, but maybe like a white rose or a blue rose maybe. That would be really cool. Okay. Reveal 2 cards, consult the ingredients table on page 54 to 63. Okay. We're gonna do that later. I just wanted to start creating the character, but we're not actually gonna play, unfortunately. But I do have my characters started, and that'll give me some time to draw them too. Eee! Okay, cool. To the book. Continuing. Look at all this cool stuff you can have. Items can be anything, from a unique blade to a magical compass. When obtaining one, define in what way it is special, what makes a Zephyrus rope special, or Aostra's bandages. And when you use a Whisper Stone to win an argument or a Dream Net to overcome an adversary, lean into what makes the item special. Yeah, so it's just completely up for your interpretation of what any of these things do. Because I remember getting a whistle and being like, the heck is this? Until I later realized what it's a brindle howl. Yeah, I got this one during the thing and I was like, I have no idea what that means. Cool. And I wrote it down, and then only later did I realize what a brindle howl was, and I was like, oh, I should have leaned more into, you know, summoning the brindle howl. That's so cool. But yeah, I like that it's left up to the imagination as to what they are and how far you can use them. And I think it's just up to your storytelling of like, okay, cool, it's a this, so I'm gonna use it to do this, you know? Especially if you're playing solo, it's just completely up to you. Gear serves narrative purposes and can be used in role-playing feats, but does not have an impact die and does not occupy inventory slots. Characters are expected to have the gear needed for their journeys, such as bedrolls, tents, food, and other personal belongings that make sense for the character. Players do not have to write down and keep track of pieces of gear, but may do so if they become significant. Yeah, it makes sense. And then the character details, name and pronouns, styles. Okay, so yeah, so you get one of these. It gives you some sort of flavor, and then you can go from there. That's neat. These are all so evocative and cute. And then a quirk, something odd your character does or thinks, helping to make them wholly unique. When you're done, you can introduce your character to the other players, such as I am Tomila Albrecht, she/her, a Nimian Bramblehand, Larkspur Defender, and Worrywart Weaver, equipped with their old Wildroot boots, occasionally selling my more illicit findings to the Meadowlarch Guild. I love that. Habitual apologizer. Apologizes for everything, even for things which are clearly not their fault. Yeah, right. Also, I forgot to check the results of the poll earlier, but yay, annotating is cool was like unanimous, so that's nice. Oh my gosh, you all write in your books, goodness. Neat. Okay, so here you can see an example of one that's been filled out, so you can see. That's cool. Yeah. The wild root boots. Roots cling onto steep surfaces so you can scale walls. So that way you have the impact die whenever you're doing something where you would be using that item. That's neat. Okay. Advancement. So when you get experience or you earn renown, you go up. Those go up. While in the safety of Nimm, spend renown to obtain benefits. Ah. Oh, that's neat. That's cool. Increase your protection, influence a guild, equip yourself more. Ah, that's neat. You can carry another jar, allowing you to prepare more spells at once. Right, because each jar is just the one spell, right? Fun. Character abilities. I guess this is for if you're making up a character instead of or making up a background, I guess, you can pick some. That's neat. Or I guess as you level up, you can get one, right? So, gain new ability. You're right. Yeah. No, wait, that's on page 38. That's different. These are the styles. Aren't these? Oh, these are the abilities. Oh, it's page 38 of the book. I got confused because I was like, this is page 42, but it's 42 of the PDF. I see. Okay. Tinker, Thinker. Shared Cup. Written in the Stars. I love these two. Okay, what kind of folksy song is it? Oh my gosh. Goodness gracious. Okay. How to play. Players use dice to perform checks when the outcome of their actions is uncertain. I like that because I feel like sometimes when people are playing TTRPGs, especially solo, they feel like they have to roll for everything. You don't have to roll for everything, only when there's some uncertainty. You know, if your character is an expert on weaving and then there's some check where you have to weave something, like why bother, you know? Now, you don't want to not roll for anything because then the story lacks tension, because then you just, at that point, it's just a writing exercise. It's not even a game anymore. But striking the balance of being able to push through scenes where the outcome is obvious, but then rolling anytime you're trying something different or where things are uncertain, that's what makes it a game. That's what I think anyways. Okay, cards are revealed from the deck and burned from a player's hands. Both revealed and burned cards are placed in a discard pile. In the unlikely event there are no cards in the discard pile to shuffle, players must discard all black cards from their hands and then shuffle them to create a new deck. Huh. I can't think of a situation where that would happen, but I guess it's good that the rule is there just in case. Having access to cards to burn is incredibly powerful. There are 4 ways players can gain cards from the top of the deck. When they have a setback, so it's sort of like a consolation. You failed this, but here, take a card. Through certain abilities, adventures, and events, exchanging 3 XP to gain 1 card. Finally, a player may be rewarded a card for role-playing their quirk or style exceptionally well. A grand tome of tiny deeds was gifted to every Nimmian town by the Pilcrow Guild. This public ledger is used by folks to record the everyday acts of kindness they witness. I think that's so cute. DR is a difficulty rating. If you playing solo or you're uncertain of the DR, you can reveal a card, use its suit to determine the DR. Okay, I see here. Yeah. Risk rating is the level of unknown and danger characters face when journeying in the Wildernite and Nimm. Risk ratings increase the difficulty ratings of all checks in that area and how likely it is to encounter Shadows of Tomb. Risk rating can apply to an entire region or to smaller areas or locations. The more localized risk rating always takes priority, usually ranging from 0 to 3. Risk ratings can increase or decrease depending on the fiction and the character's actions. The higher the risk rating, the more drama and severity should be injected into the story, while the lower the risk rating, the more peaceful and cozy the atmosphere should be. That makes sense. Impact dice. To represent how impactful an item, spell, or role-playing feat is, they are assigned an impact die from D4 to D12. An impact die... Okay, yay. I remember I was very confused by this. I was like, the heck? And so I'm glad that this was added for silly people like me, and now it's in bold. An impact die is always rolled with an attribute die during checks. So I was like, what am I doing? Where's the impact die coming from? I don't have an item. But they're like, there's always an impact die. By default, it's D6. Yeah, so there is one. So don't play this game on hard mode. But yes, I'm very glad that y'all added that because I was so confused. In all cases, the impact die can be stepped up or down to account for narrative considerations. A character describing a feat that exploits an adversary's weakness could step up to a D8, while a D6 item used in an ineffective way could be stepped down to a D4. I love that. It's similar to Fabula Ultima, where your stats are not like numbers, but your stat is a die, you know, and the higher step the die, the better that stat is, right? Players should thus always describe how they are using an item, spell, or feat before adding its impact die to the check. Before rolling, players can burn one or more cards from their hand to increase the impact of their action, adding 1 additional impact die for each card burned. Burning 2 cards adds 2 dice, transforming a 1d6 spell into a 3d6 spell. Oof. What is a feat? Players can often find creative solutions and approaches that do not involve items or spells. In those cases, the impact die represents the effectiveness of the player's described actions, preparations, or argument. Players then use that impact die when attempting a check, whether to persuade the local baker to give them a free slice of pumpkin pie, or to ambush a prowling glow bear. These types of actions are called feats. Okay. Yeah. So sort of thinking your way out of a problem. Okay, I see. I am hydrating real quick. Oh, I needed that. My throat is a little... It's a bit dry. I guess because I've been reading out loud a lot. Okay, so now they describe what it looks like to make a check. So you set the difficulty rating, reveal a number of cards equal to the current risk rating. Each black card increases the difficulty rating by 1. Describe what the action is, pick the attribute, determine if the impact die, so it starts at d6, and then should it be stepped up or down, roll the attribute die and impact dice together. If the score is equal to or greater than the difficulty rating, you gain a success. If you don't gain a success, you suffer a setback. Each multiple of the DR grants an additional success. Simple checks only require 1 success, but challenges or adversaries can require multiple successes to overcome. The successes, you get an XP as well. Nice, okay. Setback, you gain a card. Narrate what happens as a consequence of the setback, injecting tension in the scene, either a narrative consequence or a mechanical one. In addition, an adversary takes their actions. Yep. Time passes, right? Okay. Okay, challenges are obstacles without active opposition, from getting free pie to baking a... Right. I see. For instance, if attempting to persuade a stubborn baker to give you a free slice of pie, players can use role-playing feats or persuasive magic to gain 2 successes. A setback could result in an infuriated baker banning you from the premises, or a friendly baker asking for a favor in exchange for the pie. Yeah. Okay, so challenge is like, it's not active opposition, it's just you versus something, like a wall, you know. But they're not acting against you, you either pass or you don't. I really like in Stars Without Number that it decided that it wanted skill checks on a curve to make it so if you had learned a skill, failing a known skill was less likely by using 2d6. It kept combat swingy by having it be a d20 check. Ah, that does sound good. Adversaries have 3 sets, difficulty rating, resolve, and actions, as well as their abilities. They do not have attributes, do not make checks. When confronting an adversary, players make checks to gain a number of successes equal to the adversary's resolve. So you don't roll for the adversary, you roll for yourself. I see. Checks act for both the character and the adversary. On a setback, the adversary manages to get the upper hand momentarily. In addition to the usual consequences of setbacks, adversaries use a number of actions equal to their action score to use abilities or take narrative actions. Okay. The characters are successful. The characters are successful when an adversary runs out of resolve. This does not necessarily mean the death of the adversary. It simply means the characters achieve their goal. The adversary no longer opposes, whether they are neutralized or because they concede or change their mind. Okay. Neat. Groups of adversaries could be treated as a single entity with resolve and actions equal to the sum of the individuals in the mob, increasing the DR by 3 for small groups, 6 for large ones. It's like fighting with a wall. Right. So a challenge is when you're basically fighting with the wall. It's not actively going against you. You just have to pass it or not pass it. When you're fighting against an adversary, though, they do get actions and such. They have abilities, so it's a little different. You're fighting against something that is actively pushing back. So challenge, they aren't pushing back. Adversaries are. Okay. Turns. Players act in any order they choose. On a setback, oh no, why am I yawning already? Goodness. On a setback, one adversary acts. If an adversary is surprised or engaged the characters first, they can use actions before the players act in standard turns. Okay. If not directly confronting the adversary or challenge, players can focus on checks attempting to make the situation easier. Determine the DR, which is normally lower than the adversary's DR. For each success during the check, the effect is enhanced. Ah, okay. Players can flee or escape by making a successful check. In addition to their one action per turn, players can perform one task that does not require a check, such as opening a door, crossing a room, etc., etc. When a player's check results in a setback, one adversary can take a number of actions equal to its action score. They can take actions affecting the narrative or use their abilities. Abilities of the die rating can lower the character's endurance by endurance. The adversary rolls the die, then the player rolls their protection, losing endurance equal to the adversary's roll minus their protection roll. Okay, I see. So, okay. It makes sense in the moment, but I'm like, I know when I play, I'm going to be flipping back and forth like, what? What was it? What am I supposed to do? Abilities with a die rating can lower the character's endurance. The adversary rolls the die, then the player rolls their protection, losing endurance equal to the adversary's roll minus their protection roll. Okay, that makes sense. Effects that do not impact endurance, such as apply a condition, cannot be reduced or blocked by protection unless otherwise stated. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Today was a long day. I didn't sleep super well, so I'm really excited, but I'm also like sleepy. I don't like it. Okay. Conditions are negative narrative aspects. Okay. Each condition takes at least one inventory slot. Oh no! Yeesh. Makes sense. I guess if you're exhausted or annoyed or wounded, you can't carry as much, your energy is low. Speaking of, the EP is hitting me as well, so I'm gonna hop off. Okay. Thank you so much for hanging out and coming by and subbing. Oh my gosh, all in one sit. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed my reading for the time you were here. Have a good sleep. I might not make today's stream super long then, because I'm fighting for my life. That just means, oh no, I'll have to stream more Midnight Muscadines later. I just enjoy reading and fanning with everyone. It is customary to exchange, I love this, I remember this fact. It is customary to exchange handcrafted teacups as tokens of friendship or appreciation. Considered a sign of great respect, entire collections are displayed in Nimmian homes or businesses. I love that so much. Okay. Yeah, there's more of these. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Starstruck. Awestruck by a person, place, or phenomenon, you find it hard to look away or think, missing subtle dangers or opportunities. Your fascination could delay progress or shift priorities unexpectedly. That's really cool. Okay, the traveling. How to play traveling. Oh, POIs. Okay, that's a hex crawl. We suggest using a hex map. A person can walk a hex in a full day, and a mounted rider can cross 2. Each hex can contain a multitude of locations and points of interest. When entering a hex for the first time, reveal 3 cards and look up their values on the region generator table. Work with your players to describe the region and write down key details about it. I see. They even let you, pull, and it'll tell you. If the lights go out, okay, yeah, if one of the shards. Shadows of Tomb do not tolerate Nimmians, particularly Marmateers seeking Midnight Muscadines. Still, the servants of Valgus have other duties and will only engage the players once per region, unless it makes narrative sense for them to appear again. They usually travel in packs of 1 plus the risk rating. Eek. Nice. Marmateer's map. Okay, so this map is on page 51. How do you reconcile this map with this map? Because this has hexes too. Resting, take some time to catch your breath. Oh, here's the companions! Look! It's a Marso! Oh, it's so cute. They lose and recover endurance. They can change their attitude. I see. I like that there's a table for NPC attitude. Hello, this looks interesting. Hey, welcome. Yeah, we're playing Midnight. Well, we're not playing. We're reading through the rulebook for Midnight Muscadines, which crowdfunded, and the 1.0 version of the book was released to backers recently. I want to say in the last few days, actually. And so, reading through it because I am a backer, of course, and I'm so excited. I backed at like the collector's whatever edition. Like I wanted everything. I want it all. Give it to me. I want the little suitcase. So here we are. Okay. I'm gonna leave this up so you guys can quietly read it, because that's a lot. It's a lot of talking from me, but it kind of gives you an idea of how this game goes in a group, which is not how I'm playing it anyways. So it has the defense, or the difficulty rating, and all that. RS. I already forgot what that was. The danger. This was the difficulty rating. RS was the. Already for the risk. Danger and risk. Cool. Yeah, okay. Magical jam. This is how you use magic with the magical jars. You can concoct the unique jams and then cast spells by eating some of the jam. Eat the jam. Cast the magic. Altering jam. Right. So you've got 4 ingredients, and then you can modify by adding ingredient. That's neat. Okay, adding an ingredient. When adding an additional ingredient to a jam, burn a card from an unused suit, add the ingredient. Right, okay. Space jam. Yes, sort of. Well, it's fantasy jam. Oh yeah, skunked jam, so when it goes bad, look, it's the little beekeeper, and look at those. What is going on there? Ashen Choir. Near volcanic regions, songs carry on the winds from unknown voices known as the Ashen Choir. The melodies echo through rocks and stone, and those who listen closely may learn long-forgotten tales. Some say the Ashen Choir is sung by spirits who linger near the stars. That's cool. Okay, here's all the really cool ingredients that you can get through the cards and the effects. And so you combine these together to make jams, right? And you can have a pure jam that really is just one ingredient, but you can combine them, and that's how you get the really unique spells that you can cast, by combining these ingredients into a single jam. It's really cool. Oh, there's so many, of course. I'm not going to read all of them, but I will kind of slowly flip through so y'all can see, but look at how much thought was just put into these. This is Lion's Tooth. That's such a cute name. Or Dandelion Lion's Tooth. Look at that. Scrub wool. Oh my gosh, that's funny. This Mothwing is beautiful. Ghost Lily. Come on and slam, and welcome to the jam. Oh goodness. Cool. Got all these cool plants and things. Harvine, the moonlit chanter, gloam sage. Oh, I love this. Look at the dream drop orchid. I love that. Nightingale. Oh. Shadow fawn. I love the mix of like kind of vaguely realistic plants and just totally made up ones in fantasy magic. Look at these. That's cool. Ship sign used by sailors to signal each other. Oh my gosh, because it glows. That's so fun. Looks like a durian. Sounds delicious. Delicious. Look at this durian. Okay, getting into the solo stuff. Good, good. Many Marmateers venture across the world as solitary adventurers, like me. Some act as merchants and traders, while others are explorers, seeking magic, hidden places, or juicy gossip. Oh, Lord Durian. Yeah. Oh, Lord Durian. It's the king of the fruit. I love durians. Sorry, I'm Vietnamese. I will not take any durian slander. You know it's genetic. It's the same as cilantro. You either have the gene to enjoy durian or you don't. I don't get to eat it very often. My parents love, well, okay, my mom has the gene, so she really likes it. But the German name for dandelion actually translates to lion's tooth. Really? Oh, that's so cute. I love that. But yeah, my mom loves durian, but my dad is just kind of okay with it, and so we didn't get to eat it a lot. It's also really sweet. But now I can't really eat it anymore because the husband is Japanese, and so he has no, obviously they're not going to have the gene for durian. So I love durian, but I almost never get to eat it. The texture messes with me. I think it's best when it's frozen. I don't know if I would like the fresh durian because it's just all mushy, but if you freeze it, it's basically like ice cream, and it has the texture of frozen yogurt, and it's so good. But, I've learned that it is genetic, and either you eat it and you taste it and it tastes like durian and it tastes good, or it smells rotten to you. And so it's hard to blame people for not liking it, because if you don't have the gene, or your gene is deactivated or whatever, yeah, if it smells like rotting flesh to you and you don't want to eat it, then that completely makes sense to me. I can't judge you too much, but I love it. But it is very sweet, and I do have the diabetes, and so I can't be eating durian very often. The smell doesn't bother me. Okay, so for you, it's just the texture. But yeah, if you haven't tried it frozen, you can just buy it frozen and eat it while it's still, like, mostly frozen, and it's just really, it's like ice cream. It has that kind of ice cream texture to it, because when you eat it fresh, it's so mushy. I can see why people might not like it, but I usually have it frozen when I have it. Okay, anyways, the rules of Midnight Muscadines are the same, whether you play as a group or solo. The most difficult aspect of playing solo is getting started. Now, that's not a problem for me. This section is a toolbox to stand in for many aspects of a game mentor, so you can still discover adventures, characters, complications as they unfold. We did this during the preview, so if you were around for that, and if not, did I post the preview of Midnight Muscadines on my YouTube channel? I think I did. So if you're interested, I'm pretty sure I did. You can watch the VOD for that, because I do go through like a couple of scenes, I think, or at least one scene with the character I made up for the preview, and it was pretty easy to do, and that was only with the preview rules. It didn't have the full solo rules like we have now. But yeah, path loop. So the adventure can be broken up into these story beats. So the present. At the beginning of your session, present what your character is preparing for, discovering why they must go on a journey. Use the inciting incidents, gossip, rumors, and hooks tables. Approach. Your character approaches 3 to 5 challenges, conflicts, adversaries, puzzles, or encounters to overcome on their journey. Use the Oracle and Tables chapter to discover what they are. As you overcome obstacles, you close in on your goal until you can tackle it. How do you seize the opportunity? What unfolds afterwards? Yeah. And then Hearth, wrap up your journey by relishing in a slice of life moment, festival, chat with a friendly mentor, or other cozy event by the hearth. Tomorrow, a new journey begins. I love that. Yeah, so that kind of gives you an idea of the loop. But I think this is, in general, this is how I handle solo TTRPGs, unless they're unique in scope, like the Archivium, obviously. I'm not quite going to do it this way, but even Choir of Flesh, I'm sort of like, what are we doing today? We're going somewhere. We go and conquer those challenges, and then we defeat the big bad, or we make our goal, and then we go back to the settlement, and we, wrap things up. And so I think this is a pretty good sort of, not gameplay loop exactly, but like for each scene or session, this is sort of what's going on. I think it works well. Lore loop. Each step of your journey is broken up into smaller scenes. Lore loop. I love that. It's lore. Look. Orchestrate, resolve, effect. So look is envision what your character is doing, what is happening. Look around, ask and answer questions about the world, characters and their actions. Orchestrate. Determine what feats, spells, items, and abilities you'll use to react to what is happening. Who or what are you taking action against? Resolve. Once you know what you're doing, roll your dice and burn cards to resolve your action, determine the outcome. Effect. What effect did your actions have on the characters and world? How did they respond? What complications arise or disappear? Again, I think this is a really good, solid loop for scenes when you're playing solo TTRPGs in general, because I think it's true, like what they said, that getting started can be really hard if you're new to solo RPGs. Like, where do you start? What do you do? But I think this is a really great structure for like, okay, this is the general what you should be working towards, and then each scene should have something like this, like what's going on, describe it, get in your character's head, you role play, right? Especially if you're writing in first person, role play, and then what do you want to do? It's like, what are you gonna do? And then roll to see what actually happens. Do things go the way you planned, or do you fail, or in this case, suffer a setback and like other stuff happens instead. And then what effect did your actions have? Because usually it's not going to end with just like, well, this happened, we're going to move on. But it has an effect like, oh, okay, well now we've introduced this character, or this has happened, or oh, it has this permanent effect on the town, or whatever, right? So generally you should want things to have an effect, because in games like this, it's not necessarily like, it's not necessarily going to be cozy all the time, but it's also not going to be heavy plot, fighting the big bad all the time. And so I think having an awareness of like what happened as a result, even if you're having a cozy moment, something should be happening, right? Like, okay, I shared this cozy moment, me and this NPC got closer, or maybe my character came to a better understanding of the area or something, right? There should be some effect, because even if you are playing total slice of life, well, you chose to rest today. Your character stayed in their room and read books the whole time. Okay, so what effect did that have? You weren't outside, so maybe while you were indoors reading your book that your scarecrow boyfriend brought you, that's how it is in Break. I need to edit our Break videos more. I really want people to get to these characters. But even if you're doing total slice of life style like that, well, you staying in your room and reading books all day, maybe you missed out on something. Maybe outside your window somebody was getting robbed and you didn't notice, right? And so your actions have an effect, but also I think your inaction has an effect as well. Because your character may be your main character, but the world is still moving without them. So what is happening in your character's absence? What is happening around them that may or may not have an effect on them, or they may or may not have an effect on? Definitely think off-screen is a very useful tool both in solo and in games that ask GMs to frequently set consequences. Yeah, exactly. Both actions and inactions have consequences, and I think it's good to think about those things. That way it doesn't feel like everything that you're doing is in isolation, because no matter what, as the main character, what you are doing or not doing should affect the world or other characters or somebody in some way, you know? That's what I think. Anyway, that's my soapbox. But these are really great. I think these are really... If this is somebody's first solo TTRPG somehow, which I guess it could be, because I feel like I saw Midnight Muscadines in like Instagram ads, you know? So this could be somebody's first solo TTRPG. I think this is really solid. And having like, okay, this is the structure that you're working on. Present, approach, tackle, hearth, path. And then within each scene, this is what you should be doing. And I think that's really good advice and a good way to give people some structure. And once they're used to it, once they're like, oh, you know what, maybe orchestrate is not as important to me, resolve is more, but whatever, right? You can tweak it for your own purposes. But I think this is a really, and it even says this is only a guide. When you're comfortable, expand on it. But I think that especially for beginners, this is a really great jumping off point. As a solo player, you are fully in control of your characters and story, which is both exciting and daunting. Yeah, getting it to click was tough when I started solo. Yeah, right? I think I am lucky in that when I started playing solo, I didn't start with how do I put it? I didn't start with a crunchy game. Nor did I start off with a pure journaling game. So I think 1000-Year-Old Vampire was a perfect gateway drug, shall I say, into solo TTRPGs, because it did require a lot of roleplay. It did require research, because it's your character through the years, right? But there was gameplay. You had to roll for the prompts, but you also had to keep track of memories and items and NPCs. So it wasn't purely a journaling game. Because yeah, there's prompts, yeah, you're journaling, but there's still gameplay in keeping track of like, okay, you only can have this many memories until you have to put them away into a journal or lose them forever, right? And so I think just that little bit of gameplay with the creative writing was what really hooked me. I love writing. Again, in a previous life, in another life, I was a writer, right? And I still write a lot now. And I think, though, I like games that have a little bit of gameplay as well. Not always, because I've certainly played pure journaling games, like Hourglass Sings, I think, was purely a journaling game. There weren't any gameplay aspects per se. But I am really glad that my introduction into this genre was 1000-Year-Old Vampire, because it sparked that creative writing aspect. So those prompts, if you haven't played that game, those prompts are so evocative. It's so good. I've played 1000-Year-Old Vampire. I've finished maybe 4 or 5 different campaigns, and each time it's a completely different experience. The only thing those 5 characters have in common is that they're vampires. That's it. And so with that, I think that it's not as daunting for me, but if this is somebody's first solo game, I think having these is really important. I love that. So you don't need to have all the answers from the outset, just enough spark at the beginning of your journey. Yeah, and exactly, because you are the DM for yourself, but at the same time, that doesn't mean you need to know everything that's going to happen. There's no need for you to pre-plan the entire world build everything. I had somebody ask me recently, because they were like, I'm deciding to run Fabula Ultima solo after I saw, you talking about it, and do you think I should design the whole world and come up with all of the countries and everything? And I was like, definitely make them so you can make your little world map, but you don't need to flesh them out, because what if you make this country and your character never actually goes there? Put in some bare bones stuff, but fill in the gaps later as you need to. And I think that allows you to discover as well. So you have some idea, yeah, there's a country over there. Yeah, I know the country is called such and such, but you can fill it out as you go. That way you're discovering it too. Because if you pre-plan everything, then you lose that thrill of discovery that you get from like hex crawling and such. Draw maps and leave blanks. Yes, I love that. Yeah, 100%. Draw maps and leave blanks. But yeah, but these are important. The story's foundation, determine the theme of your story. That is important. So what type of story? Not necessarily, you don't want the ending. You don't want to know how the story's going to end, but what is the foundation? So for example, my character, I made a woadling, so I think this is going to be a story about maturing, about discovering yourself, about, coming to terms with, hey, I'm exploring the world, I get all this freedom now, but eventually I'm going to have to go back home and root myself, and maybe I'm not ready for that yet. And so almost like a coming of age, except that my character is an adult, right? But it's a different sort of coming of age, because it's the elder-rooted woadlings, right? That eventually you're going to be there, because that's just part of that culture, is that eventually you're going to have to go back to the grove, you're going to root yourself, and so on and so forth. And that, to me, I think that's an important theme, but that's just the foundation. And then, of course, as I play, as I go through the oracles and stuff, I could completely change my mind. Maybe the story goes in a different direction entirely. Because that's how it happened to me with Choir of Flesh, where I thought the story was going in one direction with Tariq, but then once a mod took over, I think that the theme of the story completely shifted for good, World building is its own hobby in a way. Yeah, exactly. Build out the opening world. Okay, create a few NPCs your character knows. Yeah, I think it's important to have some NPCs to start with. That's why in Ballads, which is the solo TTRPG that I'm creating, you don't have to, I guess, but you're supposed to create like at least 2 or 3 NPCs at the beginning. That way your character has people to interact with, unless you want to go it totally alone. But still, even then, you still should have some shopkeepers or somebody from the same guild as them or something. Otherwise, it's very hard to roleplay when you have nobody to bounce off of. And this is why I love Caer Nathalis, but I do not roleplay at all with Caer Nathalis, because it's just your character alone in the dark. What is there to roleplay? And so I think with a strong story narrative game like Midnight Muscadines, you definitely want to create some NPCs. Again, just like with the map, you don't have to fully flesh them out. You don't have to know this character's full backstory and all their secrets. It's good enough to be like, this is Gunther. He's the kind of sullen guy at the archery shop. I don't know, I just completely made that up. But that way you have someone to interact with. Why do I know this person? Oh, well, because I am an archer, and so I have to go to his shop every couple of weeks to buy more bolts and arrows and stuff, and he's kind of a jerk. But why? And that's for later in the narrative, should you choose to find out. But I think it's good to make it up then. That way you're not like, oh, I'm going to induce my character to get closer to Gunter because my character doesn't know, but Gunter has this tragic backstory. Then you build your character. And see, I love this because so there's different schools of thought where do you create a character-centric story where you make the characters first and the world is designed around them? Or do you create the world and then make your characters designed for that world? And from this, it seems like you create the world first and then you build your character, but I've seen people who go the other way around and they make their character first. Well, if I was making a game with a single-player co-op campaign, I could hire you. I would at least take it into consideration. Well, thank you. Yeah. I'm always very happy to explore solo RPGs. It may take a minute for me to be able to squeeze them into my schedule, because I don't know how it is, but I'm so busy all the time. But you know, anybody watching this, if you are creating or have created a game that can be played solo, like, hey, hit me up. I would love to give it a try. I mean, you can flip through my channel. Depending on the game, I may not be interested in the themes, but I think overall, like, I'm pretty, you know, sci-fi, fantasy, whatever. You know, I play very few TTRPGs that take place in the modern day. I'm trying to think of a single one that I've played that takes place in, like, modern day times. I don't think I have anything. I've played ones that are historical, so set in the far past. I've played sci-fi ones that are set in the far future, but now that I think about it, I've never ever played a TTRPG that takes place in, like, kind of modern day or relative modern day. Interesting. Anyways, create an inciting incident. That's important. So why is your character going? Because you can go into what's it called? Slice of life, cozy, slow stuff later, but at least for you starting the journey, there has to be a reason. You can't start your campaign with just like, I'm gonna stay in the village and do chores all the time. It just, I guess you could. It's a very sleepy start though. And then I think once you're stuck in that mode, I feel like it would be difficult to then get your character on a quest for something if you've already played a whole session where they're just like, ho he hum, I'm at home, got nothing to do, you know. So having an inciting incident, and then you can come back and spend a little bit of cozy time, but I think having the game be 100% all cozy all the time would be a little boring. And then open the scene. So the who, what, where. So now, how does your character encounter that inciting incident? And then the how and why. Yeah, I think these are great. Tone, theme, and genre. Yep. That's great. Documenting your adventure. Journalers. Yep. Like a novel. Reporters play out scenes in their imagination, so they more note down details. I think I'm a little bit more like a reporter than a journaler, because I get lazy and I don't want to write everything. So I can if I'm on the computer with Obsidian, but even then it's not my preferred method. Nowadays, I think going the reporter style where I write down a couple of the details is better. Also for streaming, because I don't know, maybe I'm the only person bothered, but I feel bad when I'm I'll go back and edit my old VODs, and it's like, man, I have to trim this whole section, or I have to speed up, like do a speed up on this part because I just spent 8 minutes just writing in silence. That's kind of sad. My setting is me playing a solo RPG. RP with an RP inception. Oh my god, it's solo TTRPG inception. Now, the possible big turnoff is set game would be a computer game and mostly action. Oh, okay, yeah, that's unfortunately not going to be for me. I am not into like platformers. You know, everyone playing Silk Song and everyone making a huge deal. I do not play games like that. I'm not coordinated enough for them. I know I'll just get frustrated. I like turn-based games. I like rhythm games. I like cozy games or games that don't have as much like a not active time system, you know. So if there's action and there's coordination involved, it's probably not going to work for me. I like the vibes of Silk Song. I'm never going to play it. Not coordinated enough. Okay. Note takers. Okay. Among the Twilight Lands, Nimmian children recently discovered moon mirrors. Used to relay messages or leave notes within the Wildernite, these silvery patches of water are filled with stars that do not match the sky. Each star is a stored memory or note. The children now use them to leave mischievous messages or find Wilderfolk pen pals. It wouldn't be a platform. Okay. Either way, if it's action and it requires like coordination of some kind, it's probably not going to work for me. I'm very much like, I enjoy my turn-based stuff, so I have time to think in between. Murmuration rites. On moonless nights, wilder folk gather to mimic the flight of great nocturnal birds by leaping from ledges to silken parachutes, creating a dazzling murmuration-like aerial display. Those who participate are blessed with enhanced senses for several days. Oh, that's fun. Look, if I was hiring you to help, it would be the world building. Oh, I see. Yeah, I love world building. It's a lot of fun. As long as I don't have to play the game. Mentor prompts. Okay, so this is for DMs. I guess you could play it solo too, but it's sort of like a set the scene, introduce a complication, reveal a clue, create an NPC. Right, okay, I see. Night Fern Luminaries. Luminaries weave lanterns from the gleaming fronds of night fern, lighting paths in the wilder night with an eerie green glow. The brightness of a night fern lantern ebbs and flows with the spirit of people walking by, revealing their inner calm or turmoil. Cool. Okay, so all these other things. Ideas for like, okay, this is something that just happens. Whenever you feel stuck or don't know how to move forward, you can use... Oh, okay, I see. Okay. I've been slowly working on 3 TTRPG projects. One is nearly 212 pages. Oh my gosh, that's wild. My one friend would kill me for making a TRPG with a page count that large. That's super admirable, though. Yeah, Ballads is quite large. I can't really open it. I don't even know how many thousands of words it's up to now. It's a lot. It's like the size of a novel. Let's see, which I really need to get back to work on it. I kind of burnt myself out for a bit, but now I'd like to get back to it. Let's see, Ballads of Dawn. Oh, thank you for the stretch. Ooh. Oh, yep, my shoulders were... Ooh, my shoulders. That's where all my tension likes to sit. Ballads of Dawn. Yep, it's about 40,000 words already, so quite long. That's without layout or anything. I still need to finish the prompts and stuff for that, but I'm excited. Shout out Ballads for anyone who hasn't taken a look is good. I'm so glad. Yeah, I need to finish writing the prompts. Now that it's autumn, I'm feeling really inspired for it, so hopefully this weekend, or I'm at training all day tomorrow, but it's like fake training, so I wonder if I can have some quiet time to quietly, secretly work on ballads in the corner. Okay. Storytelling tip, 3-act structure. Oh, I love all these tips. Okay. These are all different cards for things that can happen, which I think is cool. Imagine a creature, invent an item. That's fun. Starlit Inn, a fabled inn appearing only during the darkest nights on the coldest days, welcomes weary travelers. Its location shifts, and those who find it are often guided by an intense feeling of déjà vu. Those who sleep there wake to faint stardust on their pillow and hazy memories of forgotten dreams, but feel... Oh, it should be feel, but this says fell. Oh no, it's a typo. But feel warmed, full, and are in high spirits. Oh wait. Those who sleep there wake to find stardust on their pillow and hazy, but feel warmed, full, and... in... It should be and in high spirits, not are in. I think it's a little redundant. Oh well. Has this book gone to print already? Because I don't know if any of these typos can really be fixed anymore. Okay, more of these play examples. So I'll leave this on the screen for a little bit. I need to get more water, so I'm going to leave this on the screen for a moment for y'all to read over to get an example of the play while I go get some more water. I went and got like a pure glass of just regular plain old water. Sometimes just plain old water is good too. Okay, thank you. It's good to be back. Okay, hearth pips. When a friend or family member is setting off, a decorated engraved stone from the house's hearth is gifted to the traveler. It's believed that as long as they carry the hearth pip, Nimm's warmth will be with them. I love that. Yeah, I think my throat is feeling a little tickled. I've talked a lot today, so I think I just needed some plain old water. I'm so used to drinking flavored water that it almost tastes a little funny to drink just plain old water. Alrighty. Okay. So back to it. This is so cute. Hearth pip. Engraved stone from the hearth. I love that because you know what this reminds me of is when you go to the beach and you collect like a little handful of sand from the beach or like a little seashell or something, but I love the idea that, hey, you have this piece of the hearth with you, so even when you're far away, like, it's a sense of you can always find your way home. You know that there's always a home, there's always a place for you to return to, because you carry a piece of that hearth of home with you. That's so cute. I don't know, I love that. I love these little, I don't know what to call this, a little call out, but these little blue, little lore bits and pieces, and I love that they're just sort of spread out throughout the book because there's no need for them to be gathered in their own section. It's just nice to be like, oh, little bits of lore here and there. It's so fun. I love these little things. I get excited when I see this little blue box. Like, oh, there's something. I'm getting something. Okay, this is the part I was really excited to see how the Oracle tables are. Oh, how fun. Okay, so you use the cards for this as well. See, this is tricky though, because if you use cards and you have to burn cards and such to use for like your inventory in a sense, or like your jams or whatever, like you have to burn cards, you keep like a discard pile, but then you need an intact deck of cards to use for your Oracle too. So really to play this game, you need 2 decks of cards, because you need one to use to be able to burn and draw and that stuff, but then you need one for stuff like this, because if you want it to be truly random, you have to have a whole set of cards that, okay, I drew the, 9 of hearts. Okay, the theme is Twilight Danger, and I'm gonna put this back in the deck so I can continue to use this as an Oracle, And so I think there's that to consider. Hang on, my phone just put itself to sleep. There. And so I think really to play this game properly, you're gonna need 2 decks of cards, which is fine, because at this point I have multiple. I've got that Alice in Wonderland deck. I've reclaimed my Howl's Moving Castle deck, because now I'm done playing the Hourglass Sings, so I can use that deck again. So I've got plenty, and I just got that Moon Rings deck of cards. So this is not a complaint. I have tons of decks of cards, and I think most TTRPG fanatics like me have their own deck. Wait, did Midnight Muscadines have? Did we get another deck? Did it have a deck of its own? Now that I'm thinking about it. I don't think it did, but I think that would have been a really cool, reward to have like a Midnight Muscadines themed playing card set. No, dungeon, coloring book, character sheet pass. I'm so excited because I got the field kit with the little. Every time I look at this picture and I see the little suitcase, it makes me so happy. So cute. Yeah. Alright, anyways. Yeah, that would have been cool. Like a little card deck. But I can see they probably did not want to do more stuff. Even more add-ons, more and more. Okay. But yeah, no, I've got plenty of card decks, so it's not going to be an issue for me. It's just a thought. Because otherwise, if you have a deck that's only partially full because you've already taken some cards out to burn or to have in your, for whatever reason, it won't be a perfect Oracle because there'll be cards missing. So there is that. Okay. Inciting incidents. Okay. These are so fun. You wake one morning with a fragment of a dream that feels eerily real, an urgent message or warning about what's to come. A companion— oh, I love this kind of story. A companion or close NPC vanishes during what should have been a routine errand, leaving behind a puzzling clue. That's always a great start to a story. Okay, I don't want to like read too much into these because I'm going to use them, but advantages. Use this table to come up with positive outcomes that occur when— okay. Yeah. And then when you get a setback, because sometimes you in the moment you're just like, well, what does a setback mean in this situation? I like this. So you're just like, okay, well, I failed. Now what? So malaise. Now you have to make a difficult choice. Okay. I like that there's examples too. Because sometimes open-ended is good, but when it's a little too open-ended, it can be kind of daunting. So I love this. Bad weather, unseen trap, misunderstanding. Oh, yeah, okay. God, there's so many. Yeah, it's not 52 because it's red or black, but that's still a lot of them. It's what, 26? Quite a few. Gossip. I love this. I think this was in the preview too. The gossip generator is so fun. Imagine playing a patchwork and you're just like gossip, gossip, gossip. Look at that. So for example, I love this. Okay, here, let me move it, scroll up a little so you can see it. Example of generated gossip, revealed cards. 4 of hearts, so the innkeeper. 6 of clubs is avoiding. 6 of diamonds, a gift. 8 of spades, tragic. I heard that Marna, the innkeeper at the Broken Lantern, hasn't touched the package they received from an old patron who recently passed away. That's so fun. I love that. That's such a cool way to like generate gossip. And it could or could not be something. Like, you could seek it out and it could be like, oh, okay, so here's a story, there's a quest or something to this, right? But it could just be information. It could just be nothing. It just like makes the world feel alive because there's rumors about, you know? So, oh, and it even says that right here. It says, it can add flavor or point players towards useful resources or townspeople, prompt players to investigate something or lend a hand. Or again, it could just be nothing. It's just flavor. Or sometimes like this, like you could say, well, this is just a cool tidbit, cool, I don't really do anything with this. Or you could say, okay, Marna needs help. She's a cornerstone of the community. How can we help her come to terms with like this patron who passed away, you know? So it's up to you how much you want to engage with it. Because that's the way when you play video games too, you don't necessarily, unless you're a completionist, which I think we've already established I am very much not a completionist, you don't have to follow every single side quest, but I think there being side quests and you seeing that, oh, well, the people that live in this town have a life of their own, there's rumors, there's things, that just makes the world feel more alive, and that's something I really love about this. Or this is gossip, sorry, rumors are down here. Use rumors when players are attempting to overhear or eavesdrop. While all of these can be true, they may also be the topic du jour of bored townsfolk looking for drama. Imagine how a rumor can change or become grandiose as it passes from one person to another and across the lands. Wanderlustians spend a great deal of time trying to unravel the origins of rumors. That's so fun. Yeah, like, so these may or may not be true. Yeah, drama, yeah, exactly. That's really cool. Item generator. These are the rare treasures bartered for in shadowed markets, spoken of in fireside stories, or unearthed from ancient ruins. Yeah, so again, it's completely up to your imagination to be like, well, this is what this does, this is what this is, but I love that there's so many little things. It reminds me of making the magic items in Rift Breakers. Except that one there are effects and things, because that one, you know, there's a little bit more gameplay and crunch, but this is really fun. Love it. Conflicts. Conflicts are immediate dangers that threaten the characters with harm or severe consequences. Unlike encounters, which can be resolved peacefully or even benefit the group, conflicts demand action, often place the Marmateers in life-threatening situations. I see it. Makes sense. These are so cool. Settlement generator. Wildernite towns are a mystery to most in Nimm, but they're not hostile places. Oh, these are so cool. Yeah, because of course the big cities on the map are not the only places that exist. There's going to be settlements and little places here and there, and it's important. That's so much fun. Okay. Oh, there's more. Settlement name. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Shadow Guard, Lunara's Step. That's fun. Okay, here are the encounters. Random encounters while traveling through the Wildernite. Select the appropriate terrain, roll 1d10. Use the listed situation or create your own that fits the party situation. I like that. I mean, well, obviously I can see a lot of usage for this when you're playing solo. I think even as a DM, because the game did say, hey, this is supposed to be low prep. That way you can just dive into it, roll on these tables, and you're off. You don't have to spend days or weeks prepping for your sessions. So I think even as a DM, it's really valuable, you know? Okay, oh, there's so many. Hooks. These short pieces of narrative are meant to inspire the start of new adventures. Each has a potential twist. Okay, I see. I don't want to read these too closely because I'll probably end up using one. But there's a background inspired, so having to do with like being a honey warden or a wanderlustian. These are ones inspired by your guild. The Shiverfolk. Some folks living deep in the Wildernite wear shimmering silver cloaks that trail behind them like stardust. These Shiverfolk are elusive and only emerge during a new moon. Many believe that they have stepped halfway into the realm of dream and that their cloaks reflect the nightmares they've conquered. Some whisper they carry tombs, blessings, and power. I really want to go the branded card route with a bunch of linked games that could be downloaded for free or printed for cheap. That would be really cool. Yeah. Okay, adventures. Adventures are an introduction. World of Song offers an infinite number of adventures to go on, mysteries to solve. They have some pre-written ones set within both the Wildernite and Nimm. For solo players, we recommend reading the introduction, skimming the location names. Yeah. Mysteries are smaller, tend to be open-ended, and as the answers are not predetermined, the eventual solution is instead created by the players from the clues they gather. Oh, that makes sense. The mystery sets the minimum number of clues needed before players can start making a correct deduction. I love that it's not just about story, but like, okay, there's mysteries. There's mysteries afoot, and how do we solve them? Look at that art! That's so fun. Okay, so here's an adventure, so I'm gonna kind of skip over it because, again, I may or may not play it, and I don't want to spoil myself. Ooh, but look at that. Look at that map. That's cool. Why is 9 crossed out? What is it? What's there? What could that mean? Oh, the city of Cloudlight with the university. That's neat. Okay. Oh, it is a disaster, a catastrophe, a crisis of which the likes of which the University of Cloudlight has never faced before. Yeah, again, I don't want to read this too closely because I'm gonna do it, but still. Dusk clock. Okay, so I skipped over it. Ooh, yeah, I don't want to read that. Dusk Clock is a series of events driving the plot of the adventure. Oh, this is... Ooh, spoilers. Spoilers. No more spoilers. These are the mysteries. So, such as the Marmalade Saboteur, etc. Molting Woadling. Oh no, why is it molting? Okay. So I just kind of skipped a diastrophe, yeah. Okay, so I just skipped over all of those because those are the pre-written adventures, and I do not want to spoil them for myself or for y'all. So I just kind of skipped over those. So now we're into the Bestiary, or the creatures and folks. So whether in Nimm or across the Wildernite, you will encounter fantastical creatures and interesting folks. Creatures are not sentient but can have intelligence, while folks are always sentient and intelligent. Collectively, creatures and folks are called beings. Remember, beings are not always confrontational, and you can treat an encounter as a challenge. Yeah, right. Violence is not always the answer, and I appreciate that this acknowledges that and gives you other opportunities to do other stuff. I'm having another sip. Okay. Oh, there's so many of them now. That's so fun. Look at that. I don't necessarily want to read through all of these because that could be a lot. Oh, there's another Bogsgart. That's fun. There's the Brindle Howl. So now I know what the Brindle Howl's whistle is for. They're little bat dogs. It makes me so happy. Look at them. I changed out. I wish I could show y'all. But I have like 3. Well, both of my ears have 2 piercings in the lobe, and then on my left ear I have like a little cartilage piercing. And yesterday, just to honor it almost being, October, I swapped out my little earring, cartilage earring for it's a bat. It's like a little bat, and you really can't see it unless I happen to have my hair tucked behind my ear, but you can just imagine, the bat is there. I love bats. This Brindle Howl, it just makes me so happy. It's like a bat and a dog and follow you around. It's so cute. How to read it. Large, thick-furred canines with deep, resonant voices that echo for miles. Brindle howls are fiercely loyal companions used by wilder folk for protection and tracking, their baying able to unnerve even the shadows of tomb. Domesticated ones are gentle with their handlers, but a wild brindle howl is territorial and relentless, sending travelers fleeing with its piercing, mournful wail. Ah, so fun, so cute. It still has the vampiric teeth, though. Eesh. And the supersonic, echolocation and all that. Or no, it's echolocation. Dolphins use echolocation. Bats use echolocation too, right? Or is it just sonar? I thought bats also used echolocation. But I think maybe I'm thinking about like what dolphins use, and it's not quite the same for bats. Okay. Again, I don't want to spend... Ooh. Oh, that's... Hang on. My head is blocking it. Look at that art. That's the coolest dryad I've ever seen. I love that. Okay, maybe I can't say it's the coolest dryad I've ever seen because those Sylvaneth designs are crazy, but I love this. This caught my attention immediately. The phase, the leaves. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Dryads are spirits who speak for the trees in the Lorax, is that you? Speak for the trees in Nimm's forests and the Wildernight's ancient groves. These bark-skinned beings with leafy hair guard their domains fiercely. In Nimm, they maintain harmony between civilization and nature. What? And nature. While, oh, I think there's just an extra comma there that shouldn't be there. While they take on a more mysterious aspect in the Wildernite, as they exhibit bioluminescent patterns. Possessing vast botanical knowledge, dryads can be invaluable allies to marmateers, offering ingredients and wisdom in exchange for their forest's protection. However, earning their trust demands patience, respect, and a genuine commitment to preservation. They speak for the trees! I'm a tree! Ah, that's fun. That's cool. That's an elemental. Ooh. Ancient creatures. I like that this looks all glitchy. I don't know if it's supposed to look like that. If it's supposed to have the gaps. I think it is because it looks neat. Like, it looks like it's glitching out in a cool way. Oh, look at the Ember Puff. Oh, thanks for the hydrate. I actually just hydrated, but I'll have some more. Look, he Angie. That's so cute. I love frog. Look at that bug. Standing thigh high, the slow-moving beetle is encased in a ridged carapace, often used to inscribe protective runes. Kept by guilds and Solen Society scholars, their shells absorb ambient magic and can be etched with glowing sigils using incredibly sharp chisels. Ethervein sounds nicer. Ethervein beetles are drawn to residual energy of failed spells, sometimes unearthing dangerous remnants of forgotten magic best left undisturbed. That's so fun. That's so cool. Look at him. Looks like a little land crab. That's fun. I like ghost. After all that, it's just ghost. Yeah. Glass hair. Shimmering creatures with bodies of translucent, moonlight-infused crystal. These delicate creatures hop silently through shadowy forests, passing through solid objects and refracting light in mesmerizing patterns. Glass hairs are coveted by both Nimians and wilder folk for their crystalline fur, which can be woven into strong objects like jars, eyeglasses, and windows. Their presence is often an indicator of nearby magic or rare ingredients, making them invaluable guides for those who manage to befriend them. There's the glow bear. Hearthling. Oh, cute. A tiny, ember-hearted creature that flits between fireplaces and lantern flames, feeding on warmth. Hearthlings are beloved companions in inns and homes, keeping fires lively and toasty. However, if a hearthling is neglected or forgotten, it sulks, sometimes smothering flames in a burst of smoke, or, worse, consuming all the warmth out of the room, freezing out the inhabitants. Oh, it just wants some attention. It just wants to be loved. Oh. Uh-oh. Eesh. Hollowkin. That's gaunt, whisper-thin humanoids with hollowed-out faces. Ugh. Kind of glad there's no picture of that. Hollowkin are able to imitate the voices of those they encounter. Unable to speak on their own, they echo back words with eerie accuracy. Some believe they are spirits caught between realms, seeking something they can never quite name. Hiding among shadows, Hollowkin listen closely to campers, hoping to name what they're hunting. Eugh. Oh, that's creepy. That is creepy, but in like the best way. I love the way that sounds. Ooh. Yee. Oh, that gives me the heebie-jeebies. That's spooky. Yeah, I'm glad there's no picture, because just imagine the hollowed out face is kind of... Lantern maw. Oh, it's like a lantern fish. That's fun. A floating jellyfish-like entity with a dangling bioluminescent lure and a cavernous mouth. It mimics the soft glow of safe lanterns hanging from branches, drawing in curious wanderers before unleashing an eerie, rattling sound to disorient its prey. Eesh. What is this page? Oh my gosh. There's the Marso. Lamar's back! Look! Look at it! Look, the the moshback, the capybara. Capybara. Sturdy beasts of burden that resemble large moss-covered rodents. Known for their calm demeanor and surprising strength, these creatures are the beloved companions of farmers, travelers, and marmateers alike. Man, I didn't get to go to the Capybara Cafe the last time I was in Japan. I'm so sad. We meant to. My nephew and I were supposed to go out, and then we ended up staying in and playing Minecraft. Oops. But next time, I would love to go and actually, like, interact with the capybaras. I love that there's freaking Capybara Cafe. Tokyo has everything. Mossbacks, after lazing in sources of water, their shaggy earthen fur often sprouts patches of soft moss and wildflowers. Mossbacks move with a slow, deliberate grace, unfazed by the world, and their broad backs make for comfortable and reliable mounts on long journeys. Many Nimmians adorn their mossbacks with woven blankets and lanterns, turning these creatures into mobile havens of light and warmth. I love that so much. Look at that. Look, it's so cute. Aw, me. Rub your nose. Rub. Cute. Uh-oh. Ew. Uh-oh. Found in the Wildernight's marshes, mire mines are a collective organism composed of vast networks of intelligent slime molds. Ew. These iridescent creatures possess distributed intelligence, allowing them to process and share information across great distances. Highly sought after by wilder folk and marmateers for their unparalleled knowledge of the Wildernight's geography and history, mire mines communicate through complex chemical signals and color variations. Eesh. Mire mines can be dangerous if threatened, as they are capable of releasing toxins and altering landscapes to protect themselves. That's terrifying. The night cat! Oh my gosh, look at the kitty. Oh, the kitty. What the? These knight's mare. These majestic creatures can shed their shimmering horse hide to reveal a humanoid form, allowing them to blend with wilder folk and enter their towns. In the wilds, they don their equine form to gallop through misty lake shores and shadowy forests, possessing the ability to traverse between the physical world and the realm of dreams, often in search of tomb. While encounters with knight's mares can offer valuable guidance or prophetic visions, marmateers are urged caution, as these creatures can lead the unwary into watery graves or nightmare traps. So kind of like kelpies. Like night kelpies that can turn into people. Eugh, that's creepy. Scary. Pixies. Okay. Well, what is that? Shadows of Tomb. Oh, okay. The Shadows of Tomb. Shadows were created shortly after Tomb drew the constellations. Serving as messengers of the Night Bearer, they would bring dreams and visions to the peoples of the world. After Tomb's downfall, Valgus filled them with his burning rage, and they took up arms against Nimmians to avenge their creator. To this day, the Shadows still follow the command of Valgus, growing stronger as Valgus's prison weakens. The Shadows of Tomb actively guard the borderlands between Nimm and the Wildernight, run patrols within the wilderness looking for those who have strayed from the Sun Shards, guard discovered sources of magic, and ever attempt to find a way to release Valgus. While they do not attack wilder folk cities, they are still filled with rage and see any humanoid who strays into the wilds as an adversary. I mean, again, I think it is kind of justified. Like, why'd you turn on a goddess? And the god, really. Take a sip of my water. Scallop star catcher moth. That's fun. Sugar newt. Oh, the tatterling. Oh, it's one of the tatterlings. Look. Oh my gosh, look! The thornbill. It has this ability. Messenger, you have a message delivery. A letter is attached to your leg. Small, flightless birds with bristling quill-like feathers that shoot out with surprising force when startled. Used by traders and couriers to deliver messages, these clever birds can navigate even the densest parts of the Wildernight. Wild thornbills are notoriously aggressive when provoked, their sharp quills capable of causing painful welts. Yeah. It looks like a kiwi mixed with a porcupine. I kind of love it. I love it. So cute. Twilight. The little frog people. A veiled viper. Ooh. Slithers through the air. It's kind of cool. Oh. Whisper Weft. On 8 spindled legs, whisper wefts weave delicate silver-threaded webs that shimmer between ancient trees like constellations. If one listens closely, the wind through its thread carries whispers, sometimes warnings, sometimes truths, but those who try to collect the threads for themselves risk becoming entangled in a fate never meant for them. That's so cool. Let's see. Yeah, so this kind of reminds me of the Woadlings too, the Whisper Willow. Will-o-wisp, the witch. That is the Woadlings. They rarely rush, speaking and moving at their own steady pace, but if one ever starts running, it's best to follow. They only hurry when something is very, very wrong. Oh, thanks for the posture check. And the hydrates. I'll take another sip. My posture is actually really good. The only time I think my posture strays a bit is when I'm doing my docu-cam kind of analog streams, because then sometimes to get a good, for the camera to get a good view of what I'm doing, I have to hunch. But when I'm just on my computer like this, no, I'm good. Guide to Nimm. That's fun. Look at all that. Better safe than sorry. Oh yeah, totally understood. And thanks so much for popping in. The first time chat and everything. Okay. Hey, the moss back look! Cute. Here's the map again. So this is a bunch of lore stuff, which I think this might be... No, do I want to go through all of this? I might... This is Midnight Muscadines, which the 1.0 version of the book was released to Backerkit backers, I think in the last couple of days. But I made a character, I rolled a character earlier, and then now I'm just sort of reading through the book with everyone. We just got through the Bestiary. I just stopped on the ones that I thought was interesting. I didn't read out every single thing in the creature section. Now, I think this is the guide to Nimm, so sort of like talking about the culture. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's like sort of cozy and dark, and you're trying to make these magical jams. It has some really cool gameplay features, but just beautiful world. But hang on, let me show you. These are the different characters you could be, like the different, what's it called? Kin, ancestry, folk. What type of folk are you? Here we go. They're all really cool. It was hard to pick. Where'd they go? Look at that. The kin. You could be any of those. They're so cool. I ended up picking Woadling, so I'm a tree person. This game doesn't really have classes in the traditional sense. Like you can certainly pick a background, but that doesn't have to totally influence your character. These are so cute. Anyway, all the way back. Over here. Cultural vignettes. So hats and feathered hats of favor, wanderer's staves, what kind of things that your character would know. Again, the guild directory. So I think that's just going into more detail about all the guilds. Yep. All the the seasons. Aostra's melody, nourishing ballads, harvest aria, and warming madrigal. I would be interested in trying this out. Oh yeah, definitely. Oh, I didn't pin. Hang on. Here we go. I should have pinned that earlier, so sorry. If you're interested in checking it out for yourself, there it is. It's got a lot of cool stuff. Oh yeah, so you can buy the PDF now. I didn't realize it was open, but yeah, you on itch or whatever, you can get it from their website. Okay. So these are different seasons. That's cool. Warming Madrigal is such a cute name. Look at them. Known for their love of tea, Nimmians have a tradition of creating and sampling unique herbal blends. Households take pride in brewing their own signature tea, and it's common to trade mixes during festivals. That's such a cute idea. Okay, so different festivals, drama during the Festival of Stars. Kind of gone into concepting mode. Yeah, so this is all the world building. Again, there's also more things. So if you decide to have your character do the Falling Lights Festival, there's stuff that can happen during it. There's so much stuff. But that's what I love because it makes the world feel alive. Like you really feel like, okay, there's festivals, there's this special calendar. Gosh. Great Garden Festival. I want to discover this on my own, so I don't want to delve too deep into it. So I want to play it, but I do want to show you a little bit. Yeah, they really go in detail listing the different locations, so you can really envision what the town looks like and the structure of it. That's neat. Important people. The encounters you might have. That's really cool. They give you so much information in here. Fauxshire. I think that's where my character went last time. Fauxshire. Mugwet. Fun. Well, we're getting close to the end. Yeah, there's a bunch of world building stuff here. It's so cool. I love this. They really, oh, the Peony Festival. They really fleshed out all of the major locations. So I think that it makes it even more meaningful when you find a settlement while you're hex crawling, because it's like in between these huge cities, there's these little settlements of people that are just coming together to form a commune or what have you, and it's such a nice idea. Like they really flesh this all out. Look at the wheels! Cute. Okay, Brighton Cove, there's more stuff. But I'm brewing the tea. Okay, and then the Wildernite. Oh, that's the part. I really want to see what it's like in the Wildernite. These observations are compiled from over 50 Marmateer expedition reports across the last 20 years. Oh, I love that. Okay, kind of the science of how does it work. Shadows of Tomb, where do those show up? What is that about? Again, more cultural things that, your character may or may not know, but especially if you grew up in this area, you grew up in the Wildernite, you would definitely know these things, right? So I like that they give you this to work with, but you may or may not use it. Umbra Cairn. I love that they list some NPCs too. Of course you can always make your own NPCs, but I love that there's some that, in all the different adventures across the landscape of Midnight Muscadines, that somewhere in the world somebody else is playing this at the same time as me, and surely they're talking to the same NPC as me. It's just got a fun idea. The gods. Oh, what a beautiful little moth goddess, and you guys killed her? The Nimmians just killed her? That makes me so sad. Of course they would all be angry Nimmians. Tomb, the Night Bearer. Yeah, I just was reading about. Oh, God of the Sun looks like kind of like an iguana, maybe. I love it. I was kind of envisioning them as humanoid creatures, but this actually makes me so happy that the gods are like an iguana and a moth person. Oh, or that's because they did say that she took on this form as she was walking amongst people. Oh, look at them. Oh, the sister of Valgus, okay. In their arrogance and fear, humans struck down the goddess of night, shattering the cosmic balance and incurring the wrath of her brother Valgus. Although the humans believed Tomb to have died when her physical form was destroyed, still terrible. Her essence is thought to have returned to Dream. The dice set they have looks cool, right? Yeah, I got the, the field kit, the full collector's edition, and I'm so excited for that to come in. Her essence is thought to have returned to dream, a reality separate from our own. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, there's more gods. Oh, there's other gods. They kind of just kept talking about these, and I thought that was it, but there's more. Ooh. Nice. Okay. Oh, that was it. We got to the end. We got to all the backers. We got to this other kind of black and white sort of map. The character sheet that you could print this out, I guess. Oh, we got to the end. Aww. Written in memory of Kashmir, if you find a sassy, playful dog wandering the world of song, a brave pup that will walk the unknown paths of adventure with you, bringing strength and bravery no matter what you face, that's Kashmir. Travel with her a while, she's a hell of a companion. Aww. Aww. Baby. That's it. Hey, we got to the end. I didn't think we could, but that's, to be fair, I had a feeling because a lot of it is bestiary, which I wasn't going to read all of it. And so sometimes it's like, oh, there's a lot of pages, but then a whole lot of it ends up being stuff that, you know, when you're reading through the book, you kind of end up skipping over. So, hey, it took us about 3 hours minus a little bit, and we actually got through the whole book. That's so exciting. Yeah, I really want to play the game, but I'm not sure if I want to play analog right now or if I want to wait, because the thing is, when is the book coming out? I think it's gonna be a minute, because if the PDF just got finished and they're still sending everything to like the printers, I think it's gonna be a second, right? Yeah. Okay, so the digital release is here. All pieces of the project are in pre-press or ordered. We expect to start shipping orders in early November. Okay. Yeah, plus shipping well, maybe, but I mean, they're in America. Well, there might be shipping complications for the people playing this that are, you know, the fans that are in Europe, but as far as I know, Pandion Games is in America and I'm in America, so at least I don't have to worry about tariffs or anything. I know. You know. But yeah, they did say, I was just reading that they said early November. But look at this box set. Hang on, I'll scroll down a little bit so you can see. I'm so excited. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. No, look at that. I'm so excited. I didn't get that one. Sorry, that's a little too much. This one. I did add on a few things like the coloring book and such, but oh wait, there are cards. Wait, there are cards. Custom 7-piece dice set. Poster. Oh, there is a card deck. Oh my gosh, I was like, I thought there was one, but it's because it's not listed. Okay, there is a card deck. Okay, that's fun. That's not so bad. Yeah, that really wasn't too bad. But look, I love these dice. There is a card deck. Love that. I'm excited. I want to play with the field journal and everything. Oh, the field journal. There's a soloist journal. I think I ordered that. Is the PDF for that done? I have pulled it. Hang on, let me see. Where's the soloist? Is that called the Wanderlustian journal? Okay, so here's the field journal. Let me get rid of this for a second. Or the PDF of the field journal, but of course I get like an actual one. But look at it. So I think this is a great, you know, it has all of the little tables in the front too. And then it lets you write all this stuff down for your character tracking. I wonder, is this meant for one character? I guess it is, because here's all the hexes that you can explore. So is this journal meant for just one character? I think it is. Yeah. Still awesome. What other? But see, that's the Wanderlustian Field Journal. Is that what the Soloist Journal is? I'm guessing. Because it's not called Soloist Journal in the player accessory, does not include the rules, the journal, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to assume that this is for solo play because it has all the oracles and all this stuff. Oh yeah, this is a solo player and world building journal. How you use this journal is completely up to you. Find your path, character tracking. Ah. Okay. Yeah, so I don't think I want to play until I have this because I would love to play this and fill out the field journal and go all out with like stickers and washi tape and all this stuff. So I think I will, while I'm really excited and I want to like dive right in, I think I'll wait so I can get the full fun analog experience, because I think with this game that is so in tune with nature, it would be a shame to play it digitally, you know? And so while I think it would be nice to play it digitally in some ways, but that's just me being impatient. I really want to be able to use this notebook because it looks so cool. And I have it. It's part of the set that I got, so I'm excited. Let's see, are there any other cool things in here? They have pre-generated characters. Oh, here's the sticker sheet we're going to get. They have a PDF of it, but like, I think this would be fun to use with my journal and almost use this as like a stamp book. So as I visit these towns, I'll like stick it to the journal somewhere, you know, like, yup, I got there. Oop, I went here. Yay. I think that would be really cool. This is going to go on my water bottle. The Midnight Muscadine sticker is going to go on my water bottle. Or not my water, it's like a big water mug thing. Rule summary sheet. Oh, this is nice. Oh, this will be nice as a little one pager. I could print this and have this off on the side to remind myself of what to do. Okay, I grabbed me a copy. Nice! Congratulations. I hope you enjoy, because, you know, it's such a fun... I played the preview, and so I got to actually, you know, make a character, played through the scene, rolled, burned cards, made spells, and it was a lot of fun. And now there's even more stuff in the game. So I hope you enjoy it. Yeah, let me know what you think when you play it. Nice. There's so much in here. Okay, this is really cool. Pre-generated characters. See, I'm not a fan of pre-generated characters, but I think if you were trying it out with like a group or something, this is probably a good idea. Miss Bobbin! Oh, look at them. Brent Cloverlane the Third. I love that. What the heck? I have a hard time finding folks to join. Yeah, ain't that always the way? That's why we play solo TTRPGs, right? So we don't have to worry. These are so cool. Babian Lamontagne. That's such a fancy. Babian Lamontagne. That is so cool. Fun. These are some really fun characters too. It's a good way to probably get people started and getting used to it. The poster. Ooh, yeah, the world map. Love that. The coloring book. Oh, yeah. The bifold style character sheet. What is that about? Oh, so instead of it being horizontal, it's like, I see. Yeah, I love this. This is probably a little easier for me to use. I have books for Dead Rain. I have a world in my head to run, but still haven't found folks to run it. Yeah, that can be the tricky part sometimes, especially because even in my own community, we play games together a lot, but then it's like, oh, we're all so busy. We're in this game. I basically have a TTRPG that I'm in every day of the week except Wednesday right now, but Wednesday is probably the only day I don't have some sort of TTRPG session that meets at least once a week, or at least every other week. But like I have Daggerheart on Tuesday, Break on Thursday, Rift Breakers Friday, Fabula Ultima Saturday. Oh, maybe I don't have anything on Sunday. No. I have Betrayal Legacy on Sunday. And I may start doing some game on Mondays, but right now Wednesday is my only like relatively free day. But yeah, it's a packed schedule for sure. I can't complain because obviously I love TTRPGs, and so I love being in a position where I get to play all the time, because I know that people struggle to find games, struggle to find people or DMs, so I'm not complaining whatsoever, but it does make it hard when I want to try out new stuff because I only have so much time in my schedule to be able to accommodate new stuff. It's hard for me to say no to things. Everything sounds so cool and I want to play it all, you know? Yeah, I actually really like this bifold style. I think this is easier for me to keep track of. And it's less all on one page, and because the jar has a page of its own, you can write more on it. So I actually really like this bifold style. Let's see what else is there. Oh, the coloring book, the card deck. Oh, they have a, okay, this is really cool. They have a copy of the card deck that you can use for virtual tabletops or print and play. So they have, I love that they have each one as an individual image. That makes it so much easier. Again, I would be playing this analog, so this doesn't affect me, but if you were to run a campaign of this in like Foundry or something, having this deck ready to like just import in because each card is like a separate image is so nice. So nice. Trust me. Yeah. I love that. They've got so much stuff, so much cool quality of life stuff in there. I love it. Funnily enough, I can run it with one player, but I want a minimum of 2 and a max of 8. Yeah, I think, especially if you're doing a group game, having 2 or 3 people is pretty ideal. Like my longest running D&D group, and we've completed several campaigns together, is our DM and 3 players, you know? And I think that's really balanced and nice. 4 and up, it gets really... Especially 6 and up, it starts getting like people are talking over each other. It's tough. So I think in my experience, 6 might be the highest that I really want to work with because it gets really chaotic when you have more than 6 people. Well, all right. Okay. Well, that is going to be it from me tonight. We read through the whole book. We created our character. That's going to be the character that I start my campaign with, but I'm not going to start the campaign until I get the physical copies because I really want to run this analog with like the map printed out, filling out the book. I've got so many cool stickers and stationery things that I want to do. But yeah, that's going to be it from me tonight. Thank you so much for hanging out. And I'm glad at least one person bought it. So I feel happy to have... I'm an influencer. What can I say? Oh my gosh, I'm influencing. But yeah, thank you for listening to me ramble. There are definitely some moments where my sleep deprived brain like went into overdrive and I don't even remember half the things that I said. Lied to me ASMR about cheese. Oh, did you know that if you eat cheese while standing up, it cancels out the calories? So if you want to eat all the cheese, you can carry around a cheese board with you and just stand up while munching on all of the cheese on your cheese board, and you can enjoy it completely guilt-free because standing up cancels out all of the fat and the calories from cheese. So you can eat an entire charcuterie board while standing up and nothing bad will happen to you. In fact, I think your life will only be improved. Mm-hmm. It's true. Yeah, I love this game. I already adore this game. I had such a fun time with the preview when I played it, and even just reading through this book, like, I mean, you saw how many times I stopped and was just like, ah, this is so cool. I love this writing, like, you know what? Like, kudos, because there were so many times the way, like, here, I'm putting it on this page again because holy... I love the way this is written. I love the way it sounds. It's so easy for me to read this out loud and it sounds so lyrical and beautiful, and I'm so excited to play, but I'm going to stop myself to wait, force myself to wait until November at least when I get all this stuff. That would be so cool. And I have Thanksgiving break in November, so I'll yeah, hopefully it all arrives here by the time Thanksgiving break comes, and then I'll be able to play it a really long time, and sleep schedule be damned during the week of Thanksgiving break. You know, that would be perfect timing as if it arrived in time for Thanksgiving break. I would love that. I would love to just deep dive into Midnight Muscadines over Thanksgiving break, you know, gosh. But I'm so excited already at how much that has been added and how many resources there are. Like, I mean, you saw, I didn't read through all of it, but like you saw this whole, the guide to Nimm is so long. Here, where's the table of contents? Yeah, this guide to Nimm is so long. With this and the Wildernite observations, that's like over 100, maybe not quite over, but about 100 pages worth of stuff. So you can really, the world feels so lived in. It feels so like they have all these cultural tidbits, history, a calendar, just it really feels like a world that exists somewhere that people can live in. It's so, yeah, it's pretty fleshed out. Yeah, exactly. And I think, again, it's fleshed out, but it's not full because the map has all these empty patches. There's still enough hidden open spaces for you to develop some places of your own and to create your own settlement or add together all of these different points of interest that exist in each hex. And I love that because even though it's very fleshed out and there's a lot of information and world building already done, it gives you space to still discover and fill out the map on your own and make it so your playthrough is not the same as somebody else's. Because yeah, the major cities are the same, but maybe you have a settlement here and somebody else didn't, you know? Room for interpretation and growth. Yeah, exactly. Oh my gosh, I'm getting sucked in again. Okay. But yeah, that's it for me. I could keep talking about this for ages probably, but I'm just so excited. I'm so excited. This is, again, I was talking about the 3 games that I'm like obsessed with right now, our Choir of Flesh and this Midnight Muscadines and Draconim, and they're all, the 3 of those games are very different. They don't overlap in any way in terms of like what I am looking forward to from them and want to enjoy from them, and so they don't compete in my mind. They're all, you know, very separate things, but I'm so excited. I'm so glad that 1.0 was finished. I'm glad that the campaign went really well. I'm so excited for all of the physical stuff to get to me because I want to start filling in that journal. I want to start coloring in the coloring book, you know? It's going to be great. I'm super excited. But yeah, on that note, that's going to be it for me tonight. I'm going to see if there is somebody to raid into. I'm sure there is. I don't know if, haha. I'm sure there's somebody I can raid into. Thank you so much for hanging out and fanboying, whatever, fanning over this game with me. I hope you guys are just as excited about it as I am, and I really look forward to playing it once my physical stuff arrives. But I couldn't wait, and I wanted to read through the book and just get hyped, you know, and so I love so much of what I read, everything that I read, and all the different creatures, all the different cultures and things and lore. I'm so excited. It's gonna be wonderful. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope that you're excited. If you end up playing the game before I do, please let me know about your characters and what you create. I would love to hear about it. So if you're in the Discord, like, yeah, feel free to start a topic for it in our sort of plays section, you know, but otherwise, like, just talk about it. I love to hear how people's campaigns are going. Good night, take care of yourself, and I will see you all again very soon.